been forever since we have jumped on here together. Let me get our arrangement back to normal. We got a couple minutes before Bridgeport Providence puck drop, and I got the quad box from ESPN on the TV here. How you been? It's been way too long since we've done a show. Our schedules just haven't lined up.
Yeah, no, it's been long since we've done a show. It hasn't been that long since I hopped on with you and Gail for like 20 minutes. That was a fun time. I feel like every
Yes, that was
time
fun.
I feel like every time we do something, we're like, we're gonna create a schedule, we're gonna get it on, and we're gonna continue to like push stuff out, and then life happens and it never comes back. But I'm glad to be able to do this tonight. Thank you, Joey, for taking the workload off just for tonight. And I'm ready to hopefully see Providence lose to Bridgeport for the first time in over a year.
Yeah, now we got a duel here right now because I mean obviously I'm sure you won't cry if the Bruins end up winning this one, but you know, obviously, yeah, you're a little bit more well connected with Bridgeport right now. So,
Yeah, well, no, I cry every time Bridgeport loses, so it's tough, but well, I'm sure we'll make it through.
and they're still kind of in a playoff push. Not exactly where they want to be, but pushing. There's still, as they say, there's still a chance.
Well, they are in a playoff spot right now, so that is the
Yeah,
first step. So they were in
I'm saying
fifth,
there's
and
still a chance they could get eliminated.
oh yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they Bridgeport for these last few games, but I'll be honest, like it's been a good run. They have a tough schedule remaining, but we're gonna just enjoy the rest of the year and see, and I guess just take it from there.
Yeah, no, like you said, they're in the playoff spot right now. It is one of those things where today could be a preview of, you know, how could they do in the playoffs just because they're not going to have, I mean, Boston, top of the Atlantic, or Providence, top of the Atlantic. Like, in theory, they're going to have the easiest road. Bridgeport, not exactly the easiest road. So if they can compete with Providence tonight, at least then it kind of opens up that door for Bridgeport fans to have a little light of hope. And of course, tonight, Providence playing as the Fighting Parm or something.
Yes, the Providence Fighting Parm. Wow.
And, promo night for that. I mean, we've seen Providence do Batman jersey. We've seen them do the Ninja Turtle jerseys. We've seen them do but it's all the fun of the American Hockey League. So it'll be interesting. The other thing today for this one is it'll be interesting to see how DiPietro does after getting that little sniff the other day for the Boston Bruins making that debut. So
Yeah, I think DiPietro's like 19-1-0 against Bridgeport in his career, and it's just he's just dominant. Like I don't know what to say about him. I mean, it's tough because it feels like when Bridgeport plays well, they lose, and when Bridgeport doesn't play well, they lose just because they play Michael DiPietro, and that's just how good he is. So
hey, Craig, how you doing? It's been a while. Hopefully, we can do some work with Craig coming up down the road here. We got a lot of Canadian prospects to kind of catch up on with him. So hopefully, he is doing well.
yeah,
Glad to see him jump in. So
absolutely, absolutely. What's up, Craig? I see my guy Nico Turnus playing pretty well over there in Moncton, so I'm pretty proud of that. It's funny because I bring this up almost every stream. I feel like, but we were I don't know if we were doing it on stream, but I was like, hey, watch out for this guy Nico Turnus, and he was like, yeah, watch out for this guy Marcus Vidicek, who's second at Quinnipiac in scoring this year. So unbelievable picks from us there.
actually, I do got to connect with Craig. I did have a couple questions for him on a few things. So hopefully, he says he'll be ready. So hopefully, we can have him on at some point here and you and I can do something a little more consistently around here. Stop going to the rink. How dare you do real work?
Yeah, it's unbelievable. It's crazy what happens, man. It's unbelievable.
Uh,
It's crazy
and
how the schedule kind of it's like, all right, you're at the rink, you're at the rink, you're at the rink. All right, that leaves like 3 days, and then you got schoolwork, and then you got this, and then you got that. So
yeah, it's just Torna is having a great season. Needs to engage more on the half boards. So
yeah.
I don't know how much you've had a chance to watch him. It's all. I mean, we got it. We're gonna have to talk about the Olympics, and I because I look over and I'm seeing I got the ESPN quad box. Gotta love the quad box for ESPN these days. So I don't know why they were talking about him, but the Capitals Canadiens feed was talking about the Slovakia game, one of the Slovakia games in the Olympics. So we're going to have to talk about that one coming up. Your boy Damian Clara had a hell of a
Ah,
showing for Italy there. So
yeah, yeah. I took the jersey down. I ended up getting the Bridgeport one up. Two Connecticut teams here,
no,
but
you got to put them all up there, man. Just
oh yeah. So just so I could
pipe
like
them up
flip the
there.
camera up, and then you could see just like a mountain of
Yeah,
jerseys.
you got to
So
start at the ceiling and just got to get them
yeah,
all, tiled down like shingles.
exactly.
Is it just me or does that ref look as young as you?
I don't know. The American Hockey League refs have been absolutely atrocious lately, and I put out a post I think a week ago where I was like, "Listen, they're not the reason Bridgeport loses. I know they have a tough job, but my goodness, some of these calls have been just brutal recently. Like it's been atrocious, and it's not a shock. Like these guys are like players where they move up the ranks, and if you're gonna allow them to get away with stuff like that in the AHL with no repercussion, they're gonna be bad in the NHL. It's just what's gonna happen. So it's been it wouldn't shock me. Put me out there, see how I do. Probably not well. Probably have the fans booing, but it's got to be better. It's got to tighten up at all levels. I saw Daniil Tarasov was pretty unhappy with something that happened last night with the stick coming up and he couldn't play the puck. But
He could. He could. I'm looking at that one. Like his, there's a couple different angles, and you kind of have to mash them all together. But I think they got that call right, honestly.
I
He
don't
was going.
understand the ruling, right? Because his glove is outside the crease. So is he
He
allowed?
most of him is actually outside the crease for one, but that's beside the point. Was there incidental contact between the stick and the glove? Yes, there was. Did that contact prevent him from making a play on the puck? It did not. That stick did not inherently stop him from catching that puck. He missed it. It wasn't like because the forward was, I forget who the forward was, but he was playing the puck himself, so he was also going for the puck. Now, if he gets and clips 85% of his hand and completely redirects his hand, then yes, that would be goaltender interference because he literally interfered with him. In this instance, it's incidental contact because he's going for the puck, and it was very minimal. It didn't deflect the glove in any way, shape, or form, preventing a possible save. You know
I
what I
think the
mean?
problem is there's a million refs out there and there's no real it's up for interpretation to everybody and that's
But
why the calls have been so wildly inconsistent. Like
100%. That's the
the,
problem. That one right there needs to be shown to officials to show why that one's not goaltender interference, whereas another one that's similar, where he clips more of the glove or is going for the glove instead, qualifies as goaltender interference. Make sense?
I guess thank God I'm not a ref. I'll complain, but I won't be out there with my stripes. So
I Goaltender interference, admittedly, is tough, but it is one of those like 9 times out of 10, you know it when you see it. You know,
well, I mean, I
I'm
guess I don't know.
I feel like I'm watching the Senators right now because of the red. The red.
I don't mind the jerseys for the Ottawa Senators. This just makes me feel weird seeing red jerseys on a red and then white and blue jerseys on the Providence ice. I actually like that they flip flopped it. I love that after All Star break. I like that they changed the whites and the blues because usually the blues are the away jerseys and now the whites are. So we get to see a little bit more color at Total Mortgage Arena for the last 9 games of the season. Well, actually, not even because
Possibly.
they have the Sound Tiger Saturdays. So every game that's not on a Saturday, I guess we'll see the Blues.
Yeah, well, I mean, last few games that they have there sounds like.
Yeah, they had a Wednesday game against Charlotte. They won in overtime, which was huge. Adam Beckman game-winning goal. They wore the Blues for that game, and then whenever they play on Saturday, they wore the white Sound Tiger jerseys, which are very very cool. And I try to use them in all the articles or scouting reports that I write because I think that they're the coolest jersey that they have. But like I said, it's
I
nice
have.
to see some color.
I just I don't disagree. I don't agree with the concept of trying to roll with both of them. Like if you were going to rebrand from the Sound Tigers, you gotta wipe it completely clean. You can once a year maybe do a throwback to when you were the Sound Tigers, but you can't do it every Saturday because that's just going to confuse people who are casual fans.
I promise you, we all feel the same about that. We all feel the same that we think that it should just be and I'll tell you the fans, everybody, like I real truly feel like I speak for the whole fan base when I say this, like I feel like everybody's on that same page where they just wish it was full-time Sound Tigers. Like nobody cares really. Like you go to the pro
Or for
shop, you're
what?
buying
Or
an
full time
Islanders jersey.
Islanders. You got to pick one.
No, I feel like most people are like, let's go back to the Sound Tigers. Like that's it. End of
I
story.
mean, yeah, I feel like the rebrand I don't think was absolutely necessary. But if you're gonna do one, I mean, this is the definition of trying to be half pregnant on it.
I actually
Like,
like this jersey more than these ones because I think that the logo is better on those jerseys, but this one's like unique to Bridgeport. That one's like
oh
Islanders.
no, yeah, the logos. None. I don't have personally. I don't have an issue with any of the jerseys or the logos or anything like that. I'm talking purely from the business perspective of we're going to try and run two brands, but one of them but part time because we're gonna rebrand from Bridgeport Sound Tigers to Bridgeport Islanders. Okay, fine, you do that. People don't like it, but they get used to it. Instead, they went, oh, people don't like this, so we'll try and do this half-ass Sound Tigers thing to keep that brand around. Instead of just going, okay, you know what, you guys clearly don't like that brand, so we'll just stay the Sound Tigers. Like, pick one. Instead, they're trying to run both, and it's just not going to work.
I don't know. It's been working so far this season, I guess, because there's been a lot of people buying those Sound Tiger Saturday jerseys. I think that's probably the main thing is like they want to see it on
Gee,
the ice and they want to buy it.
imagine how many more would be sold if it was the only ones they were selling.
Trust me, it would probably if those were the only ones that they were selling, people would be like, I need to go get a jersey now. I
Yeah,
mean,
I wonder if
they
this
would
one's
have
going to
to.
stick around on the board as Bridgeport gets one past DiPietro. I was looking away, and I've got the quad box as I mentioned. So we got Detroit going against Carolina, Buffalo against Tampa. That game is going to be sweet and well worth watching. But
Oh, Pierre Dubé from France. Shocked that that guy was not on the French Olympic team. Sounds like he was pretty critical of the French team, so that's probably why. But um, very nice goal. He had an assist. He had 2 points last game. Had an assist on the game winner, so that was nice. Pierre Dubé right in front of the net. So that's great. That's a great start. You can't go down 1-0 to Providence. I'll tell you that. But Bridgeport has been out in front before and has lost every single game. So
I'm
doesn't really
curious
mean
as to
much.
what's preventing the puck drop here.
I don't think that this goal is coming back. I mean, you're definitely a little bit
No,
ahead of me, but
no, if you look at when they, I'm at the 16-minute mark and they just redropped the puck. Of course, the clock, nope, just changed down a whole minute. Wow. Um,
hey, I'll
and
take
that's not
that.
on flow. It's not on flow hockey either. Like these are technical side of back end things where somebody's just asleep at the wheel. On that puck drop, keep your eye on the clock. It drops from 16 to 15 minutes, and then all of a sudden they throw 29 seconds back on it. I was going to ask what part you're at,
I see it
but
right now, 15, and then
after the stoppage in play, before the the face off in front of DiPietro's right side here, it'll jump back up to 15:29.
yeah, and Lysell going to the box.
Yep.
Haven't seen a ton from him when I was watching live, especially. I mean, like I don't watch Providence as religiously as last year, but I can tell you now, watching these games live, there are a few players that definitely jump off the ice, and one of those being Freddie Brunet, who's been unbelievable. He got robbed a few seconds ago, or a few minutes ago, I should say, by Hogberg. He's been great, and then Lysell just has not looked good. There's been a few times where like he has prime
Yeah,
scoring
and there's nothing
opportunities.
wrong with with Brunei staying down in Providence, even for the rest of this season. Like, I think it's the right path for him, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree. I'm just saying, like, for Lysell, like, there's been times where he's in prime scoring opportunities and he takes himself out of it because he's indecisive. So many
Yeah,
times where it's like you could shoot the puck, but you're only looking pass or you're only looking shoot, and there's the lanes are blocked. That's something that Bridgeport does really well, and it's something that Rocky Thompson preaches a ton is the stick and body positioning. So it's not going to be as easy to get shots and passes off. And Lysell is one of those players who just keeps kind of getting caught in between.
yeah. It's I don't think enough people watch enough of the AHL to really, like they want to just deal people away or bring people in, and it's like you might have an answer right there in your own system. Like,
Another player I wasn't really thrilled with was Patra, but I think that he's kind of rounded out his game a little bit more. Definitely not as much of a liability defensively. He's been playing harder on the walls. Like that's the kind of stuff that I noticed. But again, it's just he's not been as offensive, and a lot of his points are coming from the power play from what I've seen. So that's definitely something to factor in, considering he's probably not going to get top power play minutes if he goes up to Boston. I heard his name is in trade rumors, which is probably great for him because I mean it just doesn't seem like they have a real plan to bring him up. Which I mean,
well, I
like
mean,
you always point out, where are you going to put him? Who's he
yeah,
bumping out?
he's. I wouldn't be surprised if he qualifies as being actively shopped. To be honest with you, I don't know if I've seen anybody really report it that way, and obviously people are going to harp over the term. But yeah, I wouldn't be shocked if he's actively being shopped. But I said to you months ago, the second they drafted James Higgins, the clock on Patra started.
Then you also see Dean Letourneau start playing well. Will Moore didn't play. Didn't have a great season so far, and Bridgeport up 2-0. What a shot by Matt Highmore.
Yeah, this right here from like that shot right there from DPH by DiPietro, like that attempt, like yeah, he came up to came up to Boston, filled in for two saves, but like a shot like that is showing why he doesn't stick. They had no hesitation in putting Corpusalo back in, which obviously once he's deemed healthy, you're gonna do that anyway. But I mean, if you really wanted to see what DiPietro could bring you in the NHL, you'd find a way to make it happen. And they're not. Like, there's plenty to question about his game. And again, you can root for him to have success, as I am, but I just don't know what he really needs. And it's similar to what Matthew Patra needs. They need NHL time. So they need to go to a team like Vancouver or St. Louis who are going to have the minutes for them to play at the NHL level during their rebuild. And then they'll turn into pieces that can be flipped in 3 or 4 years to a cup contending team.
Something I'll say about especially this kind of start, especially for DPH, or you watch like the AHL, there's definitely a difference between the regular shooters and the elite ones. Highmore's an elite shooter. Those are goals that I expect like Henrik Tikkanen to give up, but not Michael DiPietro. He needs to figure out a way to save those because listen, elite AHL shots are pretty average NHL shots or above average NHL shots. Those aren't even elite NHL shots. So you need to figure out how to make those saves. That one cannot go under the arm, especially already being down 1-0.
Yeah, exactly. You got to find a way to keep it 1-0. Um, there's so much to take into account. I mean, even when he was making, like everyone's looking at the one save that was shot, it was the high blocker save in Boston that he made. I know you were watching that game. We were talking during it.
Yeah, it
Did you
was a
catch
nice
his body
save.
language after?
It was a
When
nice
he's
save,
looking
but
for
it
the
felt
puck?
like not well. It just felt like he was kind of fighting it off, not really making like a strong save. And I mean, he made the save, but it pops right up and then right in between his feet. So
Yeah.
I mean,
And if you notice the way he's moving his head looking for the puck, there were more nerves than anything.
which makes
Like
sense. Your first time in the NHL in a while, like there's gonna be nerves, but I mean, it was a good save, but I don't know.
here's my
Didn't
thing
seem like
though.
he had a lot of it.
He's been in the NHL before. So those nerves shouldn't be there.
He was in the NHL when he probably shouldn't have been, and
Doesn't matter. That if
that
anything, that should
probably
help alleviate those nerves because as a from a mental aspect of the game, that should be a I've already been in this position before when I shouldn't have been here. I'm ready now, and he should have that confidence now.
it's one shot. He gets drawn in relief. I don't put too much stock into it. I mean, listen,
No,
once you're this age, like you have no idea. You have no idea if that's going to be the last save that he ever makes in the NHL. So, I definitely don't put too much stock into it. I don't think much of this. I know some people are going to see it and be like, DiPietro should be the full time backup goalie. Some people are going to see it and be like, he's not ready for the NHL. I don't put too much stock into it because he's coming in cold. Um, and
no,
made
I'm
2
not
saves, and that was it.
100%. I'm not saying write him off because of the one save or whatever. Like I'm not saying he's an NHL guy because he made those two saves either. There's a balance. You have to you put that on your note sheet, and then you see how many more times you write that same note every time you have a chance to look at him. If you look at how he's playing tonight, he's still rattled. Like his brain is not settled into this game. You know what I mean?
Bad
So
bad games happen, bad periods happen. We're only halfway through this period. It's happened a ton where Bridgeport's gotten off to strong leads and then end up, you know, giving it up, and that is heavily attributed to how well the goaltending is kind of settled in. This is very typical of Bridgeport. I feel like I've seen this movie before where Bridgeport gets out to a 1 or 2 goal lead. It stands until the second period, and then the goaltender locks in and the players lock in, and it ends up being a 4-2 loss, 5-2 loss, 3-2 in overtime. Like we've seen it a million times. So this game is really so far
it's
from
far from
over.
over.
So far from over, especially for Bridgeport. They need to continue to grind out this game.
Oh, for sure. And so does
And
Providence. Providence, they're one shot away from a 1 goal game. So like,
DiPietro with a beautiful save there.
there's so much there that you know I'm just putting these out as we're going along because these are all things that you have. If you're scouting a goaltender, you jot all these things down because so many people only want to look at, like, for instance, today's Bruins game. People are going to look at the save percentage from Jeremy Swayman and go, "Oh, he had a terrible game." When in reality, he got beat off of, a hell of a shot from Zegras that was perfectly placed, and he got beat off of a play that was a bad bounce off the stanchion of the boards. So like that was the game. Beyond that, he was fantastic. Just because he didn't see as many pucks, his save percentage is going to be low. So if people just continue to watch the scoreboard and watch the stat sheet, they're going to go, "Oh, he's terrible. Get rid of him." If you watched his play, you're going to sit here and go, "He's half the reason they were in this game." You know, it comes down to watching the games versus looking at the stat sheet.
Yeah, I also saw somebody said that Swayman was injured. Doesn't seem too
Yeah,
injured to me.
he looked pretty healthy to me on that one and this one today. So, I
Yeah.
mean, what was it? Was it considered a lower body injury that they said, or was it an upper body? I don't remember. I know you sent
Um,
me a text about it, but
I don't remember if it was even specified. I think it was just battling through an injury.
because
Interesting.
he's got the tape on his fingers that he's had since the Olympics.
Yeah, I don't think that's it.
I
Hmm.
don't think so. I mean, I guess you could consider that an upper body injury, right? If you word it
If you
right.
want, if you want to, if you want to, just because I see, Adam Beckman switching gloves every period doesn't mean that I think his hand's broken. So I'm just saying.
You sure?
Uh, I guess I'm not sure anymore.
I mean, at least then when he misses a Nathan McKinnon wide open net type shot, he can blame the equipment.
Mm. Well, Adam Beckman hasn't been missing too many shots lately. I'll tell you that he's been on fire.
Yeah, well, neither was Nathan McKinnon. Apparently, all it takes is the one.
That always makes me laugh. Nathan McKinnon talking about how Canada should have won that game or however he worded it. It's like, well, yeah, Canada probably should have, but you didn't help at all. You know, right
Yeah,
message, wrong messenger. You were awful. So I don't
you.
want to hear that from you. Seriously.
The reason why you guys lost was because you missed the open net.
And you completely got outbodied by Zach Wierenski. That can't happen on 3-on-3
Yeah,
overtime. You need to do better than that.
yeah.
So I really don't want
Toronto
to hear that.
honoring Toronto honoring Nylander for playing for Team Sweden.
Not Matthews.
No, I might have missed that one. I think they already did
No,
that.
they definitely they're not gonna honor one without the other, but I feel like that'd be pretty funny.
But oh man, I my reaction though when I saw the Jack Hughes goal go in was just holy shit, they actually did it. Like
I
just because when you
did
look at the firepower that Canada has, you know,
I did not watch the whole game. I literally woke up right as overtime started and I watched it and they scored and I was pumped and then I went right back to bed. I did end up watching the women's one, so Megan Keller's goal. That one I got hyped for, but I was also in class at the time in a live online class, so I couldn't really like just gave it a little, like golf fist pump. That's usually what I throw out there after I nail a putt in high school. I was like, give him a nice little Tiger Woods like pump up there and probably look like an idiot, but no, it was very cool to see that the USA reigns supreme when it comes to hockey.
wow. I gotta tell you, Buffalo is up 3-0 on Tampa right now.
Oh, Tampa! Didn't Jake Gensel miss that empty net, and then Toronto came down and
He
scored?
did. Yup.
Yeah, nice
Oh, and
job.
this one just deflected off of who's the defender? I'm trying to figure out who it was, but this one was a shot from the blue line that just goes in off the shin of the defender for Tampa, and it's
Four on
3-0
four.
in the first period. There's 11:42 left in the first. They have 3 goals on 5 shots on Vasilevsky right now.
3 goals on 5 shots, huh?
Man,
You know what I gotta see? I gotta see. Jeremy Smith is his PTO's got to be up soon. I gotta assume they're gonna bring him back.
oh, you know what was really funny too is when people don't look for 30 seconds. Uh, Providence the other day signed a goaltender to an ATO.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you catch that?
What was it, Joe Spagnoli or something? I
Something
don't know.
like that, yeah.
I
And
completely forgot his name.
and immediately people start questioning what this means for Corpusalo and what it means, especially for DiPietro.
Yeah,
Did you look him up at all?
yeah. Isn't he like their equipment manager or something?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much, 42-year-old dude. They needed to pay him so he could practice and be fine so he could practice. No one even looked because DiPietro was with Boston, and 99% of the time they're just calling up Luke Calivan. Maine just got back from a 3-week road trip from Florida to Illinois and New York. They just got back.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So you're 14,
And it's what?
15,
What
16,
are you
17,
counting over there?
18, 19, hold on, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Oh, so this is the 25th game. Okay, yeah. So Jeremy Smith needs to be re-signed. So we're gonna have some news before tomorrow about Jeremy Smith being either re-signed or let go or put on another PTO because this is the 25th game since he's been signed. So
Damn.
That'll be a nice tweet to put out there. Let's see. Let me just confirm this because I don't know if it works differently for goalies, but I know how that works for how many PTO. Um, PTO rules.
Oh, Patra Holden. Uh-oh. Let's see what else we got going on over here. We got Toronto's actually beating Ottawa. Be interesting to see some of the in between period stuff for the Montreal Washington and Ottawa Toronto game because both of them are Hockey Night in Canada streams, so we'll have to see how those go. And it looks like Buffalo's going on a penalty kill.
oh no, it's 25 games played. So I don't think Jeremy Smith is not even remotely close to that. Interesting.
Yeah, usually it's a stipulation on number of days and then games played.
Yeah, it's games played. On the other hand, yeah. Well, interesting.
But I know we were talking about DiPietro before. It'll be interesting to see how he comes out in the second, how he comes out in his next start. Like those are all the things. The reason why you're jotting down the nerves is to see how he responds to them. Because if he's able to move past them, and let's say Providence wins this 3-2, as you mentioned, it's very feasible, and he locks him down and plays really well the rest of the way. We got a penalty coming up here. Um, then that's a good thing. It bodes well for DiPietro. Yeah, sure, he had some nerves, but he was able to get past them. And now you can work with him on not being nervous in a similar situation going forward. But if he now opens the door to this game and Providence loses 6-0 because he gives up 2 goals in the second and 2 goals in the third, well, then now you're having a whole nother discussion about him.
Damn, Marshall Warren going to the box. You can't see. This is the problem. You can't put Providence on the power play. Their power play is really good for the AHL level. Like everybody's a threat. Um, that's tough. Riley Tufte draws the penalty. What can you do? Got to kill this. Bridgeport's penalty kill is actually very good away. I think it's above 90%. So we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, Tufty's been playing well this year down there. So
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just like, he's now bigger, he's strong, like he's just very strong on his skates. It felt like last year there was parts of the season where it's like he just didn't put in that full effort, but when he did, he was just the best player on the ice. This year, definitely seeing a more consistent effort, at least against Bridgeport, which I mean, it's easy to put in full effort when you're in the offensive zone a lot and you're playing, but it seems like he's doing that all over the ice, which is good. I feel like
yeah,
that's definitely why you bring him in. It's weird not seeing. I mean, no, it's not that it's not weird or whatever because Alex Steves ended up filling that role pretty well. But I really thought Matej Blumel was going to be in the NHL more this year, but Alex Steves
I
has done his
just
job.
yeah, it's I was disappointed to see that. I'm glad they brought him in just because it bodes well that those are the types of moves they were looking for. He had a hell of a season last year, but he also hasn't had the same type of season this year. He hasn't replicated what he did last year.
Zero risk in that deal, so that was a good pickup at least. Um, just tough. I had an article on him. It was one of my better ones, at least for that portion, but tough.
Yeah, I mean last year before the season was over, I mentioned him to you, and I threw him in an article as someone they should target. So it just hasn't worked. And maybe it's a system thing. If he goes, let's say he were to re-sign with Texas for next season, all of a sudden he looks way better and he fits the system better. But it's you don't know that until you get him in your system. And no, now we got Merkulov is another one that fans have been pissed about. The Bruins kind of quote unquote pissing away young talent. It's like he's kind of doing what he does. Like there are a lot of things to enjoy watching his game, but if you want to watch some of these young guys, they're just not going to break through.
The problem is with Merkulov, and I've been saying this for a while, is like if you want to get the full Merkulov experience and you want him to produce points at a clip, one, you have to allow him to play more games in the NHL and get comfortable, and two, you have to put him on the power play because that's where he records a bulk of his points. And if you're not willing to do both of those, then there's really no point, right? You're going to call him up for 2 games. He's not really going to get acclimated, and we've seen it last year, and then that's it. And then if you're going to call him up, play him for an extended period, and not put him on the power play, again, you're not going to see the points go up as much as they do here, as much as or even close as they are in the American Hockey League, which isn't surprising. Talk about another guy that I have a jersey of, Georgi Merkulov jersey from his first year. So funny enough, he's playing against some former teammates today. There's always a ton of crossover in the AHL, but he's playing against Cam Thiesing and Cole McWard, who are both Ohio State alums, which is cool. So yeah, there you go. There's a fact that you didn't know, and funny enough, not playing in the building tonight, but that season they only played together for one season because Merkulov was a one and done in college. Wonder if
Yeah,
he
which maybe
regrets
he
that
shouldn't have been.
decision. Yeah, wonder if he regrets that decision. But their season, Ohio State ended at Total Mortgage Arena in the NCAA regionals to Quinnipiac, who would be the eventual champions. Bet you didn't know that. There you go.
No, I'd be willing to bet if he had to do it again, he'd go back for another year at Ohio State because it just like he's the type of guy who will have a great AHL, KHL career, but just something like the rest of his game didn't develop. You and I talk about it all the time. Like, yeah, if that's where you're going to put him in your NHL lineup, he might be able to adapt. But here's the thing: if I'm an NHL organization, I want to know what else can you do for me. You know, like yeah, he can be on the power play, but look at what the NHL teams do. Like you've got to be able to bring more.
How's the Bruins power play this year?
Power play has been fine. Steve Spott has really helped push that and make that come along. So it's always going to leave you wanting more, especially for fans. But it's been fine overall. That it's way less predictable. Pasternak's being more of a puck mover on it and helping get Geeky some goals from Pasta's office or the Ovi office, if you will.
Yeah.
It's a lot less predictable than it was, which is good to see.
Tough. Back
But
to the
it
penalty
also
kill.
doesn't. But here's the thing, though: is it also doesn't matter where it's been all year, because now we're in the stretch where it matters. There are so many teams that are still in races.
Yeah, I actually talked to Marshall Warren about that a little while ago because Bridgeport's power play was struggling for a while, and then it just kind of clicked, and that's what he says. It's like sometimes it works. You finally see one touch some netting, and then it's you go from there. And Bridgeport's power play has been much better recently. I mean, they've also added Ethan Bear, who's been unbelievable, and
Yep. Yep.
Pierre Dubé's been good. I think that it's just kind of all the power plays in the NHL or in the AHL and pro hockey and everything are basically the same. It's more about just finding the pieces and going from there. So it took definitely a while. We saw a lot of movement on the power play for sure, but it looks like even now both units have been playing very, very well, which is definitely something that you need because you got to make teams pay. I mean, there were some games where other teams were taking 7 penalties and Bridgeport wasn't scoring on a single power play, and that's a problem. But seems like they have that figured out, which is great, and it looks like the penalty kill is doing pretty well. Hopefully that doesn't jinx it. probably will because that's what happens. But in general, the penalty kill has been really good, which again isn't surprising when you hear that that's what they preach on the stick positioning and the body positioning, and that's what's going to make a good power. That's what's going to make a good penalty kill is the details. So
I'm looking real quick. Oh, wow. All right. This is almost a dollar bet that I have to take just because it would only cost $1 because the odds are so long. But if you look at it, it's not impossible. If you look at how it plays out, first and foremost, given the schedule that's left in the NHL, what teams have the advantage in such a tight schedule?
the ones who are number one, the ones at the top, definitely have an advantage.
How about the youngest ones? The
Uh,
ones with youth.
I don't know. It's a balance. You need youth. You also need experience. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah. So I was just looking, right? If you look at the standings, these are all very feasible. Buffalo is 6 points behind Tampa, and they're beating them right now 4-0 with just under 5 left in the first. So this will put them at 76 points, 4 points behind Tampa. And Tampa's hurt right now. Like, they still don't have point. They still are missing. Who else are they missing? They got quite a few guys right now. Someone else just went down for him, too. Sorelli, that's who it was. Sorelli, Nick Paul are hurt. Um, Hedman's still banged up. Like, there's a bunch of key guys that aren't 100%. And we know Tampa doesn't care about the regular season. So as long as they get in, and they are pretty much guaranteed to get in right now, as long as they don't completely fall off. So is it wrong for me to say Buffalo or Detroit could actually win this division? They're both only 6 points back.
I really like Buffalo. I'll tell you that. Yeah, it's not the
Me
worst
too.
thing. It's not the worst thing that I've heard. Speaking
And you
of,
know they're going to push for it.
I was gonna say, speaking of the worst things that I've ever heard, what an awful, terrible week it was for hockey media. My goodness, I felt like every day there was something popping up on Twitter where it's like asking Connor McDavid, "Did you think it was gonna be this hard?" Asking Macklin Celebrini, "Are you gonna go back in 4 years?" Are like, who are we letting in these press boxes? And everybody says the same thing after. They're like, this guy hasn't been here all year. Who is this
Yep.
guy? Don't let Toronto media fool you or whatever. This guy's never here. Who is he? And it's like, yeah, no, that was an absolutely rough week for hockey media. Being in the press box was unforgiving this week. But
What's the phrase? Certain media organizations didn't send their best.
my goodness, don't come back. If you ask that, I swear it's always Edmonton media too. Like they ask stupid questions of McDavid all the time, and McDavid's one of those guys that he's not going to sugarcoat it either. If that's a dumb question, he's going to tell you it's a dumb question. Same with Leon Draisaitl, which I'm a huge fan of. Like if I say something stupid, just be like, yeah, buddy, that was dumb. Did
So
you
real
think it was
quick,
going to be this hard?
I want you to pull up the NHL standings real quick because I want you to look at this because we both just established that it's not totally unreasonable for Buffalo to win this division. All right. And the reason why I want you to pull up the standings is because there's two other teams that I want you to take a quick look at when it comes to their division, winning the division, right? First and foremost, Minnesota. They're 5 points behind Colorado. We know how much of a beast Colorado has been all season, but they have to come back to earth in some capacity. And they have already started to do that. No?
I will be honest with you. I have not watched enough NHL to comment on, especially on the West Coast teams.
Well, they're now 21-4-4 at home, 17-6-5 at on the road, and before the break they went on a stretch of 4-5-1 in that last 10 before the break. Yes, I think McKinnon and Makar are going to be livid about the Olympic experience and losing the way they did. But Minnesota with Quinn Hughes, have you watched them at all?
Only when the Bruins played them that one game after.
Oh man, they're one of the most fun teams to watch right now. Now that they have Quinn Hughes,
Yeah, now you got Quinn Hughes and Brock Faber riding high. I'll tell you that.
Brock Faber's right. Matt Boldy,
Matt Boldy as well. Yeah, wow.
you
Bill
and you know
Guerin.
Bill and you know Bill Guerin wants to go add another center. Imagine if they add Vincent Trocheck.
How about Matt Patra? We'll trade you Quinn Hughes for, or we'll trade Matt Patra for Quinn Hughes. How about that one? Bruins are
Straight
looking
up,
for a
it's a
defenseman.
the deal is
Yeah,
1-for-1.
yeah. I also
You know
love
what?
seeing Toronto bottom feeding. That would be great for the Bruins pick.
So tell me it's unreasonable to think Minnesota could win that division, though.
Only 5 points back. Yeah, no, it's not unreasonable. I don't care what team it is, but
Now here's
Minnesota, definitely.
now here's the last one. I want you to look at. Think Anaheim can take that division from Vegas?
Anaheim. That one's tough. I gotta pull it up. Let's see. Anaheim. I mean, only 3 points back, so yeah, anything's possible. At this point, it doesn't even matter. You like it's just from now to the end of the season. Everything behind that just it doesn't matter. And
So let me put this way, right? Just as a 3-bet parlay for those 3 teams to win the division, Buffalo, Anaheim, and Minnesota, the odds right now are plus 516,825.
okay,
A
cool.
dollar wins you $5,000.
Oh, nice, bro. Now you can start paying me. Now I don't have to put $2 on there and give me 5K. There you go.
I know, right? Tell me that's not a very reasonable bet to make, though, based on how we just went through the divisional runs.
Yeah, no. Yeah, put
And
that
all
one
three of
down.
those teams have the goaltending and the youth and the scoring. I mean, we mentioned Damian Clara earlier, but the Ducks. Have you watched any of the Ducks at all this season?
No,
Such a
but
fun team.
I saw how many idiots were like, "Wow, this Italian goalie should be signed to an NHL contract."
Yeah,
Where
he
have you
already is.
been? Where have you been? Uh, man, I'll tell you, national media has been striking out recently. They have been atrocious. The national media, and I know this is something that Jimmy talks about all the time with Pierre McGuire, but it's like, bro, you guys like they try to be experts on everything and they're experts on nothing and they say the dumbest things of all time. I mean, I wasn't even watching the Bruins game, but I was looking on Twitter and apparently people were not happy with what was being said on ABC or ESPN or whatever it was on. Shocking, I know. ESPN not great.
Which thing were they nitpicking the most?
I don't know. Something happened where they had to move. They had to move streams or whatever. Had to move channels. Something
Yeah,
happened where they weren't
yeah, it was the
pronouncing
whole.
names right. They weren't pronouncing teams right or something like that. And then yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of it
Yeah,
that
they
that
had to
went
move
down.
the stream. They moved the stream from ABC to ESPN News because ABC broke into a national media breaking news report for the whole thing that's going on over right now in Iran or whatever. So, like, understandable break in coverage, but it's still going to piss people off. And I don't know which names they were mispronouncing or anything like that. I didn't catch any, but at the same time, I just sit there and I go, "Yeah, we're all gonna do it." Like, you know what I mean? Like, do you know how many times we've heard Matthew Poitras pronounce Poitras, or you know,
Potois.
uh,
I hear that from
yeah,
Lehigh Valley. Yeah, not great. But
um,
when you're national media, like I'm talking about guys in the AHL that are mispronouncing names, but when you're national media, like you gotta do better, especially for. I saw Andrew Peak calling him Peaky, not
that's funny.
not letting go the E. That's a tough look. It just I don't
That's
know
rough.
when I hear people mispronounce names like so badly, especially when it comes to like players who've been in the NHL for a while. I'm like, you don't watch, don't you? Like you listen. I'll give you a break on Koliachonic, right? That one's
Yep,
tough.
yep, yep, yep.
I'll
That
give
one's
you a
gonna be
break.
tough.
I'll give you a break on that one for sure. But Peak, come on, man, do your job. Like, do you not? Are you not like looking up this stuff before the games? Like, listen,
No, they're not.
maybe I'm like a little bit biased because I'm able to see what happens in the booth, but like these guys make an effort, especially in the AHL, to get the names right. They're constantly in contact before game, talking about, hey, how do you pronounce this? How do you pronounce that? Who's this? What, where's he from? Whatever. So when I see it at the AHL level for flow hockey, you better believe that I'm going to be critical of when it happens at the national level when you're on ABC and you're on NHL Network, like I'm gonna or ESPN or whatever. You got to know how to pronounce these
Yeah,
guys' names.
and
It's the simplest of the simple.
well, and like you'll give some people a break based on circumstances. So, for instance, remember when we were talking with Jimmy Murphy and he was talking about how he jumped into commentating because someone got stuck or didn't show up or whatever. It was totally unexpected. He didn't have time to do research into anybody's name. So if he was getting a name wrong, like that's understandable.
Yeah, and that's not national coverage, and
No,
that's
it's not.
Jimmy stepping in last minute. These guys aren't stepping in last minute. These guys are on the mic weekly. So
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like I said, I
and
I
if you know
sit
you're the backup, like
I I
you should have some prep.
I sit and I listen to these people go back and forth. Obviously, fortunate enough to talk to people who are doing the play by play and all that for especially for different teams. And it's like, dude, it took 2 seconds to walk over and be like, hey, how do you pronounce this? And now you know, right? So there's absolutely, I have zero sympathy or empathy or whatever it is for people who just like don't put in that effort. It's like go on Elite Prospects, right, on your computer and press the button that pronounces the name. They do it for like almost every player in the NHL. You couldn't do
Almost
that
every
before
player.
your
Yep.
game. You know how much those guys are probably getting paid to call the game. It's just that's the type of stuff where it's like you don't care about the details. And then of course you go into the coverage and it's like half of it isn't even about the teams that are playing. It's talking about league wide stuff, which I'm like, well, that's fine, but also like if I'm here and I want to watch the Bruins, like, or I want to watch the Flyers, I probably want to hear about the two teams that are actually in the game.
Did you hear
Um,
about? Did you watch the silver medal game between Sweden and, sorry, between Finland and Slovakia?
no, but I got to assume a lot of it was about USA Canada
Hey, would you shut up about USA Canada? I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
because
Have
this
you
is
not watched any like? And I said this to Gail on Wednesday's show. Like NBC butchered the hockey coverage, completely butchered it.
oh yeah.
They did. I don't know how much of the tournament you watch, but how many times did you turn it on and you're like, "Oh, I'm mid game. That's fine. Whatever. I'll leave." And then you're just sitting there like you've got a drone view of the Zamboni on the ice, and you're like, "Where's the friggin' intermission show?"
One, I think it's super disrespectful for a team or for whatever the staff, the coverage, to talk about another game, talk so much about another game while the bronze medal game is going on, acting like it's nothing. Like that's a huge
Yeah, sorry,
deal
I
for
said silver
those.
medal. You know what I meant.
It's such a huge deal for these countries, and I know Slovakia obviously not happy they didn't walk away with a medal, but it's like for that country, it's huge. I get it. Like everybody wanted to see USA Canada in the gold medal game, but like there's a place there's a time and a place. You're now calling this game. You focus on the game. Like give the players what they deserve. They earned it. They made it to this point in the tournament. So it's it's definitely a respect thing. And I got to be honest, some of the commentating was not good. Some of the commentating was not good for the Olympics, and I saw Mike
They didn't
Bartner talk
even
about
go
it.
there. They didn't even go over to Italy for some of it.
I was actually I when you hear like Kenny Alberts was a part of it and Brendan Burke was great too, but like there was a British guy that was on there and it's like, dude, this is like the top of the best on best. Like you seriously could not have somebody who actually calls hockey for a living. Seriously. Not that's just it's unbelievable. And then also having the videos getting taken down on Twitter and on Instagram and people can't film in the village and they can't do this or whatever because now that's all the NBC content or the IOC or whatever it is. It was just very, very poor um, on their part. Seriously, I think that and again, like I don't want to seem like an old head, but maybe it's a little too techy. I'm like, just like we're here to watch hockey. We're here to enjoy the best on best. Like, let's let's focus to that. Let's keep that in perspective, please.
Oh boy, I'm gonna have to go in and watch some of the Well, it looks like Grand Rapids is playing against Iowa, and
Yeah, that one's not a bloodbath, I'm sure.
no, it is.
Yeah,
Hlava has already given up 4 goals
yeah. Wow.
in
Well,
the
welcome
first
back to the
period.
AHL. Mike C.
Uh,
Fortunately, they cater to the audience that are not true hockey fans of the game.
the
Well, I'll tell
cater,
you one
yeah.
thing. Mike is a true hockey fan. That guy bleeds hockey. I'll tell you that for free. So that's definitely true. They it's always a tough watch. I go on Twitter and I definitely positive. I play golf too, like where it's like I really enjoy like the game growing, but some of these people, man, like they go on Twitter, they act like they know everything. It's like, bro, you've been watching for 2 seconds, you know.
Hmm.
All the Florida fans that everybody hates, they're gonna be San Jose Shark fans, and that's going to be the next step is San Jose Sharks fans. We're not going to be able to stand just because everybody wants to become a Sharks fan because they love Macklin Celebrini and they love Will Smith. So
Yeah, which those guys are super fun to watch. Like San Jose and Anaheim are keeping me up late this whole season. They're so fun to watch, man.
I'll tell you, they San Jose Sharks they kept me up last year. I was watching a ton of Colin Graff. I love that guy. So he's had a great season. So happy for him, Quinnipiac alum.
He's
Yeah,
just
great
one
team.
of many over there. I mean, and it's funny because like when you really look and dive into their roster, like Macklin is the only one who's like truly, truly, truly ready right now. The rest are still on the way. Well, I would say William Eklund as well because he's been there for a few seasons. But when you really look at their lineup of young kids, and I'm talking kids, like Michael Misa's not ready, but his ceiling is there. Will Smith is getting there. You mentioned Colin Graff. Like their offense is going to be unbelievable. And we didn't even mention Quentin Musty. Like, and they're still
Yeah.
drafting these guys.
Well, they have some defensemen as well. Luke Medulin, who's going to
Yep,
be
Luke
pretty
Medulin,
solid. Cagnoni as
Dickinson.
well. Dickinson, yeah, and then their goaltending tandem. They have a lot. They have a few good goalies in the pipeline, but they have Askarov who's ready, and then they also have Ravensbergen who's hopefully going to be ready within the next 3 years, maybe 4 years. The goaltenders, it's always hard to tell. They also
Could
have
and it could be less. It could be. You
could
just
be Christian Kirsch as well, who played for their team Switzerland at the World Juniors for a few years. He's committed to go to Quinnipiac. Was committed to UMass Amherst. Guess he wasn't Czech enough to be there. You see Coach Carvel, and he's
I really could see Ravensburgen go to the NCAA this coming season. Like
why
for
not? Why not? Let's see it.
I mean, think about it. I mean, think about it. Like you're going to have an outflux from the NCAA of a bunch of players again this year. Some might go back to juniors because it wasn't what they were thinking. Some will get graduate to the NH or to their NHL organization and whatnot. But like, man, Ravensburgen after Trey Augustine, tell me that wouldn't work for Michigan State.
Oh man, Michigan State. They're gonna be fine. All the Big Ten teams are gonna be fine. If Gavin McKenna stays another year, I know Jackson Smith's probably gonna stay another year.
Di
Unfortunately,
Materno staying another year.
they're gonna lose. For Penn State at least, I'm sure they're gonna lose Aiden Fink. They're gonna lose Charlie Serrato, which are two very big pieces of that Penn State team. But have a great goalie go to Penn State. They already have a pretty decent goalie. Completely blanking on his name, but he's an Ottawa Senators pick. So, yeah, they're doing pretty well over there. I know Gavin McKenna's absolutely tearing it up as of late, so that's good. Glad to see him back. You know, the guy punches somebody in the face in a bar, and he turns into Sidney Crosby, which is love it. So see
You're
somebody in a
talking
Mount St.
Reidler,
Charles jerseys.
Kevin Reidler, the Swedish kid.
Yeah, Kevin Riddler. Yeah,
Reidler. I don't know. Oh, wait. Let me see if his pronunciation is on Elite Prospects. See if I can
it's
get it in
tough.
my
It's
ear.
tough for the NCAA.
I know.
They definitely do at the next levels because like Bridgeport has all theirs that are not American or Canadian.
Yeah. Well, fifth round pick. I'm not that worried about it. But yeah, I mean, if he goes up to to join the NHL organization and turns pro in some capacity, then yeah. But I mean, there are so many teams that you could look at for Ravensburg and be like, he'll help. It'll help him. He'll help them. Like it's a mutually beneficial thing. I mean, I think
Man,
this second year of recruits is really going to show us that strength of CHL, NCAA, and then right to the pro team. Because you mentioned Gavin McKenna, I do think he should go back for another season. I mean, and that's not a knock on him. The kid is what, still 18 years old?
yeah, I mean, it's also tough because you look
Yeah,
at it last year,
18.
and James Higgins was over a point per game, and he still, or I think at a point per game last year, and then ended up going back to college. So it's more about everything else than it is the points. Like nobody was concerned that Gavin McKenna wasn't going to put up points. It was more of everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess it's just how badly do you want him there? How close do you think he is? Do you think he'll benefit from playing in the AHL? So I think that's probably the biggest thing. And now the benefit is he's coming from college, not the actually, I don't really think it would matter because now the NHL next year, right? They're going to be able to pick one 19-year-old to put in the AHL. So it's not they could have picked McKenna if they really wanted to, but he's
Has
playing
that
in
been
college.
finalized?
I believe so because it's been something that we've talked about for the Islanders next year. Kayshawn Aitchison probably coming to. So that would have been great for like Patra his first year instead of having
You get one
him.
exception, yeah.
Yeah, you get one of the players that you're able to send down and not have to go back to juniors because it's only a 10-game sample size. After 10 games, if you keep him, you keep him. If not, and I know that was a hot button issue for Patra because he scored 2 goals in one game and everybody was like, we need to keep him up. We need to, no way you send him back. And the reality was there was no way you were sending him back. He played really well. And then, it gets tough. He gets hurt, he gets a little banged up, and it's a new game and it's like everybody has a good stretch of games, but when it wasn't working, it wasn't working. And then now you're kind of handcuffed. And then they ended up sending him like Michael Misa over to the World Juniors, and Canada didn't play well. So it's just a really tough season for him in general. I think Misa is, I don't know. I think he did play in the AHL, but that was conditioning stint. So it
Yeah, he
wasn't like
went
he
down
could,
for a conditioning stint.
yeah. So it's not like he was able to like stay down there for long, but
Anybody in the NHL is eligible to go to their AHL organization for a conditioning stint as long as the conditioning stint um, qualifications are met and the player agrees to it. A player can refuse to go down for a conditioning stint. It's just 9 times out of 10, more often than not, it's going to benefit them to go so they don't argue against it.
yeah,
It's not
why? I
worth it.
mean, Gavin
And
McKenna, I mean,
especially
Michael
especially
Misa, I
if you're
should say.
Michael Misa at
Yeah.
18, 19 years old, where you're still trying to prove to the organization you made the right pick, you're going to cooperate a little bit with that.
Well, also, like he was coming back from injury, so
Yeah,
it
exactly.
wasn't. This wasn't like you're not playing well. Let's try to get you in a conditioning stint. This was like you're coming back from an injury. Let's get you down there. Let's get you playing some games first at a lower level. And also, it's not difficult. They both play in St. Louis. It's not like this guy has to fly from New York to Hamilton,
Yeah, right.
unfortunately. So he doesn't have to fly cross country. He doesn't have to fly over borders. He literally just drives a little bit farther down the street. So it was a good
I'd be
decision.
willing to bet, though, all things being equal, if they could do it again, Boston would send Matthew Poitras back to Guelph.
Yeah, probably, but it's one of those decisions where you can't fault anybody because Pacha was playing like he deserved to be in the NHL, and it was going to be a tough decision to send him back. But um, it's always difficult. I think we saw it with Brunicki as well, right? For the Pittsburgh Penguins, he got sent back to juniors. So it's tough. It's a tough decision. It's hard to blame anybody because he was playing so well. Like even I was on the train of like, all right, let's keep him. Like he's proven he can play at the level, which he did. They ended up keeping him, and then he ends up getting injured, ends up getting banged up, goes to World Juniors. They don't play a lot there because Canada got knocked out in the first round. So what can you do?
Yep. Yep. Man, I do think we're going to learn a lot more about the transition though, and how it really impacts the two leagues in year two. Because year one it was the new shiny new toy for the CHL kids, And for the NCAA, some of the teams are sitting there going, "Ooh, fresh money to spend. So let's try and get some of these kids." You know, I really think if it's done correctly, then you can see the really high end players in Canadian juniors. We're talking the Gavin McKennas, the Connor Bedards, those guys. They will go 1-1-1, like 1 year CHL, 1 year NCAA, 1 year AHL, and then they're ready for the NHL, like solid. But the other high end players, we're talking like your Anton Friendels, like your top 10 picks, your top 15 picks, maybe, maybe someone from, you know what I mean? Like those, that next level down, they're not the ones that are quote unquote generational. You'll see 1 year in juniors, then 2 years in the NCAA, a year in the American Hockey League, and then they'll be fully ready for the end. Again, this is average. Not every single one will follow it, but that's probably where we're headed to.
Well, Anton Frondel is definitely above average. He's probably going to come over and try to get an NHL spot for next year. I mean, he's playing Swedish hockey right now, playing in the top league. Also,
Not
can't
Frendel. Who's the
confirm
one I'm thinking of? Not Frendel. Yeah, I'm not. Who was the other one? I got to pull up
who
the draft
what for the
for
Islanders
last
drafted
year's
him.
draft. No, the last year's draft. It was Frendel and who was the other
Eklund,
one? No, no,
Victor Eklund.
it's not the one
No,
I'm thinking of.
Caleb Denoyer, Porter Martone.
Porter Martone. That's the one I was thinking
Porter
of.
Martone. He's having a really good year in the NCAA.
Yeah, that's who I was thinking of.
Yeah, I was gonna say Victor Eklund. From what I'm hearing, the plan is to bring him over next year. I heard that from Stefan Rosner, so he's pretty reliable when it comes to anything Islanders related. So I'll take his word on it. That's what he was talking about. So we'll see.
Yeah, Porter Martone, 41 points in 29 games at Michigan State. Oh man, and it's really funny because you mentioned Caleb Denoyer. Um, we were talking about the Ducks and earlier. It's going to be real interesting to see what they do because they've got Roger McQueen coming up.
Yeah, how's McQueen doing this year? I have not heard anything out of him.
Let me pull up his numbers, but I mean he's doing all right down there in Providence. He's 26 points, 32 games, 15 assists, 11 goals. Like, you
Not eye
know,
popping.
no, but just solid. You know what I mean? And 6'6", 200 pounds. He's built. Physically, he's probably ready. It's just a matter of is his game there. And you know, Providence College, he's seeing really good competition.
Have him go back to college for another year. Get that
I
confidence.
I probably would, yeah. Although, is he gonna want to at that point? Like, because he could very easily compete with San Diego.
You don't want to. I feel I'm more of a. I believe in kind of just dominating the level that you're at first, and then you can move up. Like if you're not the best player on the ice most nights, like you should probably stay there for another year. And then because listen, if you're not going to be the best player on the ice most nights in the NCAA, you're not going to be the best player most nights
In the AHL.
in the AHL. I mean, I can't really speak to it, but I haven't heard a ton out of Trevor Connolly, who ended up moving on really quickly. I don't know if he was one and done. He might have been two, but like I didn't really think
Where
that
is
he
he?
should have. I think he was also injured, or maybe he still is injured. Like I said, I haven't been keeping up with. I've been
Yeah,
really hyper focused on whatever's going on in the Atlantic Division in the
he's with
AHL. But
Henderson now. 20
yeah,
points, 22 games, 8 goals.
yeah. So he's injured. I gotta assume because he only played 22 games. But yeah, actually, so not too bad. But
He's also the
Yeah.
only trade chip that Vegas has, so
Yeah, and somehow
he's likely
they
to
got
move
Rasmus
again.
Anderson. So
Well, they moved the only other ones that they had in that deal.
yeah, Trevor Connolly, that'd be a great pickup for the Bruins. I'd love to see him be a Bruin. Love to see him be an Islander. I mean, I think he's. I don't know what's going on with him. I gotta assume he's injured because he's only played 22 games. I gotta
He
assume he's
was early.
injured. He
Yeah.
still is injured. So that would have been because I'm like
Is
Islanders
he
got to make
still?
some moves. I think I don't know. Like I said, I haven't heard a lot out of him. I don't know when the last time he
Let's
played.
see if I can.
We can see on his AHL logs.
That's what I'm looking at right now. Trying to pull up the current injury report.
The AHL does a really poor job with injuries. Like if you don't have somebody
They
there,
do.
yeah, no, it's been a while. Oh no, he's back. He's back healthy. He played the 28th, which was last night. So oh no, tonight. He's playing tonight. So yeah, he's back. He started off this. Oh, I don't know. Started off the season injured, and then now is back.
Let
But
me see if I can find
he
him
is
on
playing.
here. Trevor Connolly. There he is.
Had a goal last night. Had a goal and 2 assists the night before. Had a hat trick the night before. Wow, he's on a hell of a run. 2 assists the night before. Assists. Went 2 games without a point, and then had an assist. No
Yeah, when
point. Two
he's
assists.
played really, really well.
Wow. Yeah. No. Hey, listen, Bridgeport. You know the Islanders. If you want
It
to
was
make a move,
January. He was injured in January. He December 13th he played, and then he didn't play again until January 28th.
there you go. Almost 2 months.
Yeah, month and a half.
Month and a half. Yeah.
Month and a half.
There you go. Would love to have him come in. Bridgeport made a really good trade.
What was that? Sorry, I knew my AirPod was dying, so I was going with just the one because it just these ones are old enough. They just do the alert and then they just die.
I know. I was gonna say Bridgeport just or the Islanders just made a minor league trade. They moved Julien Gauthier for Matt Luff, which is great because Gauthier has like 7 points in 14 games, and Luff has like 39 points in 42 games. So works out really well.
It is really funny though when people start to make major deals out of what happened, like those trades in the American Hockey League, and it's like those teams are also fighting for something that's going to help them down the stretch run.
Yeah, it's frustrating a lot when you're covering the AHL because people are like, "Well, why does this matter? Like, why does this matter?" It's like, well, it matters to this team and it matters to the development of the players. Bringing in another veteran who's proven that he can win, that's huge. Another veteran who's been in the NHL level, like not everything has to directly. This guy doesn't have to necessarily like be on the team and scoring a million points for the New York Islanders to make an impact. Like you look at Patrick Brown, like everybody's like, "Oh, Patrick Brown re-signed. That's terrible." It's like, no, go talk to the players in Providence. Go talk to people who are reporting in Providence, and go ask them how they feel about Patrick Brown being back. Go ask the team how they feel about Patrick Brown being back, and then you can start talking because I'll tell you, like speaking to some of the players in Bridgeport, like these players are huge. Chris Terry, huge. He's not having a great season. He's not putting up a million points, but he's huge for the locker room. You look at Matt Highmore, who scored today. He's huge. Like these guys that are younger, they look up to these older guys. Like it's huge. And then to have somebody who's played in the NHL so long, like Julien Gauthier, and have somebody like Matt Luff, who's now producing still at the AHL level, like it's huge. So that's obviously it's frustrating because it's like people don't, and this is why they're fans and not reporters, and this is why they're on the outside. And I hate to say that because there are some fans that are super knowledgeable and understand it, but they're like,
no,
wow,
we're not lumping all of them in together.
I said Julien Gauthier is a great player, and it's like great. He's not in the NHL. I'm like, yeah, he's great for the AHL. Obviously, if he was great in the NHL, he'd be in the NHL. Like you couldn't infer that. Seriously, come on,
right?
Please. Yeah, he's a great player. He's a great AHL guy.
Your idiot is showing.
Yeah, seriously. Are you like, if he was great at the NHL level, he would be in the NHL. Couldn't figure that out?
We are looking at a major statement win right now for Buffalo. Holy crap.
We're looking
Five
at
nothing.
we're possibly looking at a statement win for Bridgeport if they can hold this up. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but they've done a
I
great job
know.
defending. They haven't given up a shot so far this period. So and we're almost halfway through. So that's great.
Somehow mine got paused between the break. There we go. We're at what, 13 and change left right now?
Yep,
No, I'm just under now. I think I'm still ahead of you though.
you are by a few seconds.
They're up 5-0 right now. Buffalo is.
There you go. Big buff.
5 goals on 14, 15 shots. Let me see. I'm gonna look it up and see because I'm pretty sure it was Vasilevsky earlier in the game. Um,
I mean, if you want to talk about the Olympics, I saw a ton of people who were pissed off that Swayman wasn't playing the other day.
Look, Hellebuck showed why he should have been, but I would have understood had Swayman been the starter.
No, I mean for the Bruins came back and didn't play. People were pissed. People were like, "Well, you didn't play for 14 days." And I'm like, "Well, that's exactly why he's not
Yep,
playing right now. It's because he wasn't playing for 14 days."
yep. Vasi was pulled. 5 goals on 9 shots, 643 save percentage, and now Johansson's in the game.
That is rough. That'll destroy a save percentage right there.
Official time on ice 21:54 for Vasilevsky. He
Mm,
won't even have the most time on ice on his team.
yeah, yikes. Love to see the goals that he's given up. I wonder if it's all him or it's just bad team, bad
No,
night for the team.
I think there's something off there. I'll go back and look at some of those goals. Actually, I should be able to pull some of them up while we're on. Just turn them down here. But I mean, you got beat by Rasmus Dahlin, Josh Norris twice, Tage Thompson.
Yeah, I
Like
mean some pretty damn good players right there. That's a great list.
exactly.
It's not like we're seeing Trevor Kuntar score.
I'm just looking at the scoring summary, but wrist shot, tip in, wrist shot, wrist shot. Oh boy.
Great defensive play there.
Oh, Brunet with a good pass into the crease.
See, this is the problem. You can't be running around against Providence, especially when Patrick Brown and Freddie Brunet are out there, and Ty Gallagher and Tufty and Blumel. There's nobody easy to strip the puck from.
It's going to be very interesting to see Ty Gallagher play with someone who's not Brunet. Because
I'm
those two
still pretty
complement
high
each
on.
other very, very well.
I'm pretty high on Ty Gallagher. I haven't seen a ton yet. He's not playing every night, but
No,
from what I have seen,
but as a
pretty good.
partnership, the Brunet Gallagher, they enjoy playing with each other really well. They have really gotten close to and complement each other's game very well. So it'd be very interesting. I'm not as worried about Brunet because he could just play his game, but Gallagher is, I'm still a huge fan of his. I think he can do a lot more than what we've seen. And by no stretch am I saying does that mean he's NHL ready tomorrow, but I wouldn't be surprised if he were to start getting offers for an NHL contract, after the year he's having. He's just got to stay healthy now. That injury earlier this year really hurt him in the lineup.
Yeah, I saw Jackson Edward also. Is he even in Providence anymore? Or is he back in
No, he's
Maine?
been in Maine. Jackson Edwards, I look, I love the kid, love the physicality he brings, but he was always a long shot for the NHL. And right now he's just not. He's actually showing the extreme importance of why AHL teams need to work with their ECHL. Like an entire organization needs to be aligned.
Yeah, I think Bridgeport does it. I think the Islanders organization does it pretty well. They utilize the ECHL well. It was interesting earlier in the year they had Yessi Nurmi who was coming from the OHL. He was injured out of camp. He ends up being sent down after he was healthy, and he was in the AHL for a while, did not play, barely took warm-ups, went down to the ECHL for a long stretch, didn't necessarily play too well, came back up, didn't play, and then was ended up back in London. So kind of a crazy season there. I would love to ask like what went into that decision, and not to be a jerk, but kind of like what took so long. Like if that was the move, why was there so much shuffling? Why would you bring him up to the AHL if you didn't think he was ready? And if he wasn't ready for the ECHL, why even have him down there? Why not just move him before that? Again, it could be it's not as easy because he's an overager, and also he's an import, so I'm sure London had to kind of make some room. But when you come and you talk about Yessi Nurmi, like that's something that you got to be willing to do. Like he's a hell of a player, especially for juniors standards. So actually, let's see how well he's playing. Like he's from what I've seen, he's been pretty good. But let's see here. Yessi Nurmi. Not too bad. 28 points in 23 games. So yeah, you'll make room.
Yeah, no kidding.
You'll waive a few guys just to get this guy on your team. All right, now this is serious crunch time right now for Bridgeport. This is usually where it all goes to hell. 8 minutes left. You always see it late in the second period when Bridgeport starts to kind of unravel, and then it starts to go Providence's way. They need to calm it down. I feel like they just need to get through this period right now. They just need to get to the second period and then, kind of just start chipping away in the third. But this is usually when Providence starts to mount their comeback.
Yeah, and Providence has the talent to do it. A 2-goal deficit for them is not a significant deficit anymore.
Especially when it comes to Providence versus Bridgeport. We've definitely seen this movie before where Bridgeport is up 1 or up 2. Happened in the first game of the season. Happens. I mean, I can't even count how many times it's happened, but it's happened a ton. And unfortunately, the Bridgeport schedule is actually pretty difficult coming up, so it's not going to be an easy road to the end of the season, especially if you're going to consider these games to Bridgeport to be scheduled losses.
Crap.
I mean, Providence, I should say.
Sorry, I just looked over. It's the second period between Ottawa and Toronto. Ottawa has outshot them. This is shot attempts. 27-9. The actual shot on goal count is 20-4.
What's the score?
2-1 Ottawa.
Great.
Like they're still in it, but like holy crap, there's no possession for Toronto right now.
Yeah, no, we need Toronto to continue to lose.
I'll be very interested to see how that draft pick falls.
Yeah, hopefully outside the top 5. 6 would be great.
6 would be great. 7 would be fine with me. Imagine Boston having 2 seventh overall draft picks in a row.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, this draft is not looking as deep as it once was earlier. But
look, having the draft pick is still valuable.
Oh yeah, even if you want to move it, that'd be great. I wouldn't. I think that there's if you can get Albert Smiths. Now that
there's plenty of defensemen in this draft that the Bruins can go after.
Yeah, funny enough, Smiths just got moved from his team in the Finnish Liga, and now he's playing in the Dell for Munich. So he got transferred.
That's what you just said though about this draft not looking as deep as it once was. That's why I sit there and I laugh when people go, I refuse to trade these draft picks. Like, no, you can't be that dead fast on not trading anything. First of all, with the draft pick, we're not talking about Wayne Gretzky.
I understand it when it's closer to the draft, like when the Bruins are like, no, we will take James Higgins over anything that anybody else is trading. But you also, Don Sweeney's listening.
But here's the thing: the only pick that can truly say that is number 1 overall. Every other pick, you're reacting.
I am more like keep the picks, especially if it's later. It all depends on the package coming back. That's the
100%.
whole thing. That's the whole thing. Like you never know.
100%.
And sometimes it is worth, and I think a lot of the times it is worth it to keep the pick and kind of take that gamble because you can have a guy who's you're like a late first round pick. Like what do you get NHL? Like if you're gonna get one NHL player for a late first round pick, like who are you gonna get? Because I
Well,
know the Islanders have a late first round pick with the Colorado pick.
that's where, like you said, it depends on what the whole package is. Because the draft pick by itself is probably not getting you a ton. You know what I mean? But including the draft pick, or two of them, like the value goes up considerably if they're packaged with something or in pairs. So like the would you rather have the Toronto draft pick this year, or would you rather have the Toronto pick this year and Florida's next year if Boston's coming to you for one of your veteran players? Obviously you want both of them. So now your interest in who you're willing to give up just increased the length of that list.
It also depends on how the pipeline's looking. Like the Bruins really
100%.
shouldn't be so quick to move picks because their pipeline is still kind of rebuilding. It's not as bad as it was last year. It was not good last year. There's very
There
few
was nobody.
players to be excited about. But when you look at the Islanders, I'd say I would probably keep the pick. I mean, you have Eklund coming up. You have Yzerman. Yzerman is
The
people are very
difference though
concerned.
is the Islanders are in a different spot than where the Bruins have been. The Islanders, yeah, the fans want to compete for championships again, but they're a lot more patient than they are here in Boston. And that's a lot might be doing heavy lifting there because they're starting to get restless at this point. However, like they understand, like not that Boston fans don't, like educated fans are going to be everywhere, but for the Islanders, if they like based on where they were, if they sold off veteran guys at the NHL level and brought in more draft picks, people would completely understand that move because you're still trying to identify what your core is.
No, I think that the Islanders fans would be pretty upset if you were to sell off and bring in more younger players because they do have some players at the top who, can be like this is the time to kind of like you don't have to go full throttle, but let them go and let them play in the playoffs and see where they can take you because they are a good team. Like you have Barzell, you have Lee, you have Pollock, like
I'm not saying those are the guys. I'm not saying those guys.
JG
I'm saying if you
Pageau.
picked one or two guys on expiring deals and just said we're looking to stock our pipeline a little bit more so that we can put our chips in, like that would make a lot of sense, especially when you know that a guy like Robert Thomas is going to be available in the offseason.
I don't think that they're going like they're not pushing in all their chips right now, but I don't think that they're necessarily like let's move players to get let's build towards the future. I think they're kind of just waiting for players to kind of be ready, especially with the back end. And plus the Islanders are very injured. Like Kyle Palmieri is a good player. He's injured. Romanoff is injured. Carson Soucy, I was really not a fan of that deal because I was like, man, you have three guys in Bridgeport or two guys in Bridgeport who could seriously step up and play that spot. And I understand that people were like, well, Warren came up and George came up and they only were playing 12 minutes and you want a guy to play 18 minutes. And it's like, well, if you give George the opportunity, if you give Warren the opportunity, I feel like they would do pretty well. Like these aren't guys that you put out there and you're worried and they're a liability. But again, since Romanoff went down, they had a carousel of defensemen up there playing that sixth defenseman or seventh defenseman role, and you just want to have that patched up for the rest of the season. And I get it, but it's also tough when I've kind of felt like they're just teeing it up for Isaiah George to come back. George comes back, plays two really good games with the Islanders, and then gets sent down because Soucy gets traded or whatever, brought in. So
there should be a trip call on that one.
4 minutes here. It is getting, or 4.5 minutes here. Yeah, no call.
It is interesting though because it's that balance because you mentioned them bringing in Ceci for instance, but they're only 2 points behind Pittsburgh for the number 2 spot in the conference or for the division.
Well, I think
So
that's the
like,
thing. Darsh wanted to reward the team for playing so well, and they wanted to get that patched up, but they're not necessarily like, we need to push in all our chips. We need to start trading prospects. We need to win the cup this year.
no, 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 no. Like, and that's the thing, and that's where so many of these teams are at. Like Detroit, I think Iserman is ready. He is ready to pull the trigger on a deal for a franchise altering type player. Like for like a Quinn Hughes. It's just he's not gonna. What he deems as an overpay is going to be very different than what fans think is an overpay because he knows what's in that organization and they have young depth and he's
You
not willing to part with it.
I think if you waited one more year for Detroit, that would be like this probably would be the time to go out and get somebody, because I think in a year's time that Detroit team is going to be very, very good. You give them one more year to have
That's where it
those
depends
guys
on who you're
develop.
giving up though.
I mean, I don't know what prospects they would be willing to move. I don't think you move either the goalies. You keep Kosa, you keep Trey Augustine. Um, I like Edvidson.
I believe
Oh,
it was either Evidson or Pelika who was it one of those two? I'd have to go back and look. Um, but I believe it was one of those two guys that they refused to include in the Quinn Hughes trade.
yeah. I mean, I like Sandine Pelika. I like Edvidson too. So I'm not shocked that they wouldn't want to add those guys, because they're also not like, we need to win right this second. I feel like their window
Exactly.
isn't even open yet. It's gonna open
Their
up
their
soon.
window is cracking open right now. The
Yeah, so
like
why move two of
you're
the players who are probably like literally Evanson's probably less than a step away from being, what he can be in the NHL. Sandy Pellick is probably a step away. It's like, why move these guys right now when they're literally, you're right about to get your return on investment on those guys. Of course, other teams are going to look at that and be like, I want those players. They're almost ready. Like, they're almost going to be there.
exactly.
But, some teams who are waiting, and teams like, I mean, I'm not going to say the
It's the
Bruins, but like the teams like the Canucks, they can wait. They can wait for a guy. So
Yep. Yep. Well, they can get that guy in the NHL now and be like, don't worry about how you're playing. Just learn and take it all in. And if you're not there, like instead of being there from an from an AHL growth after a year and a half, you might be there after 2 years. But that's okay because our timeline isn't exactly the same as it once was. Like you're able, that's where you're able to get a guy like Matthew Poitras, for instance. He is that 4A guy right now because he's ready for the NHL based on what you see him do in the AHL, but he's not fully NHL ready because his game still has ability to push the ceiling up.
yeah,
Fabian
I
Lysell,
think.
similar.
I think Patra's in a much better spot than Fabian Lysell is at this
Sure,
point.
sure.
But I'll say like Beckman 2-on-1. Shot right into the chest. That's great. When it
DiPietro is
comes
another example, just because it made me think of it.
when it comes to like Patra, it's tough because if the Bruins weren't in a playoff spot, I'd be like, I don't care who's ahead of him, you're gonna move them, take them out, put Patra in. That's where you get the benefit. You're not gonna get a benefit from Mikey Asama. You're not gonna get a benefit from Casey Middlestad or Pavel Zak or whoever, playing in the middle when you could have a prospect coming up and playing if you're not gonna be contending. But when you are contending, it's like, well, we're not going to just purposely lose. We're not going to take one of the players who are performing out just because this guy can't push anybody out. So it's just the position that the Bruins are in is a little unfortunate for Patra, but great for the team. It's a great problem to have if you're the Bruins. So
Yeah, if the Boston Bruins were standing wise where they were last year at this time, then you're looking at moving out those the current veteran pieces like you mentioned, the Easymont, Sean Corrali, Pavel Zaka's probably on that list. Like, and that's where you're sitting there going, all right, now we're looking at, because remember we had AHL guys who came in and filled in for some of those spots. Some of the guys you brought in, Hustadinov, for instance, went into the lineup there, but you really had to see what did you get for him, what did you get in that trade. But we also had what's his name from Providence who was on the second line most of the back half.
Steve's.
No, it wasn't even Steve's. It was He went and signed an AHL contract somewhere else this year, and I don't remember.
Oh, Letary?
Thank you, Vinny Letary. Matthew Poitras is easily doing what Vinny Letary did last year. He's getting that spot in the NHL, and showing what he can do at the NHL level, and potentially doing a mix of what he did and what Fraser Minton did last year. Minton last year had the opportunity, took it, and ran with it. And then he came into camp this year and was a bull in a china shop, ready to take over.
Well, I think the thing is with Fraser Minton is like nobody performed well offensively. And when you're an offensive player and you're not performing offensively, then why have you up here? Fraser Minton was good defensively, which is his game, and that's why he ended up getting the nod over other players. And it's unfortunate to sit here, but it's also like, well, Poitras, you had the opportunity to step up and you guys didn't take it. Nobody took it. So you can't be
based on where Poitra's game is right now. If he were put in the position that Minton was put in last year, he might do significantly better.
Yeah, because I think he's rounded out his game, and I think he's ready, and he's bulked up more, and I think he is ready. He played a really solid 3 games, in my opinion, when he was here with the Bruins.
It's just Boston's not in a position to
just give out spots.
To give that opportunity.
Yeah, which is fine. I think Poitra's ready to take that next step, but the Bruins also don't have to be ready. And at the end of the day, he's only there for it's the Bruins' decision, and it's a good problem for the Bruins to have. If you're a fan and you don't care necessarily about who's playing, you just care about winning, this is an absolutely amazing spot to be in, because it means that you're finally having the depth that you wanted. Like, you want to have that opportunity where if somebody goes down, you can call up Poitras and you're going to be fine.
That's why, can I tell you, I don't think Poitra's dealt at the deadline unless it's part of a bigger deal where you're bringing in a Rasmus Anderson, Colton Parayko. Like, unless you're bringing in someone like that, I don't think you're dealing Matthew Poitras.
I mean, also remember, like, everybody's like so focused on the here and now. Like, what if you waited until the end of the season, and then going into next season, Poitras could have a spot on the team? Like, things are going to shift, things are going to change. Players aren't going to re-sign in Boston, and then maybe you go out and get players. Like, who knows? But there's always next season, and people don't have to wait that long. The season's almost over. It's 20 games.
The problem with waiting for Poitras is you have James Higgins.
I mean, I've seen Higgins. I've been pretty impressed with his game. I mean, is he going to step right into the NHL? I don't know.
And a lot of people are now starting to throw Dean Letourneau into that conversation as well, but he's got to go back to college.
Dean Letourneau should go back to college. He is not as polished as people are making it out to be. I know people see like a big guy, and it's like, I understand, right? The Islanders have a bigger player as well, Daniil Prokhorov, who's playing in the KHL right now, and they're like, let's bring this guy over. And it's like, well, let's hold on, right? You don't need to make the jump to the NHL just because you're big and you're playing well somewhere. Like, you're still bigger than the competition.
If that's the case, get Christian Konstantinsky an NHL contract, because he's big too.
Yeah, exactly. It's more than just being physically ready. Like, if it was about being physically ready, Dean Letourneau still wouldn't have been in the NHL his first year, because he's getting bumped off the puck at Def Camp, from what I heard. So
yep, give him one more year. But here's the thing: even after one more year in the NCAA, I still think he's going to need a year in Providence.
And that's fine. I think the thing is people get so hell-bent on like a timeline. One reporter says like, oh, it's 3 years. Or one reporter says it's 2 years. Or one reporter says he's going to be ready at the end of the year, and people kind of take it and run with it. And that's all they have in their mind, which is why I don't like ETAs. I think people should allow the season to end, right? This is not a decision that you're making tomorrow. Let the rest of the season play out. You have no idea what's going to happen. He could get injured. He can completely turn it up.
He was injured last year, and people were writing him off as a draft bust.
Exactly. And I think that's just, everybody needs to calm down. Let the season end before you start making your decision. And you also, again, when you're watching as a fan, you're only kind of focusing on the offensive end. But, like, there's also other parts of the game that matter. Right, you have to make a really good defensive play, I feel like, to get like casual fans to notice. And unfortunately, they're full of casual fans on Twitter who want to speak their mind and say whatever about Dean Letourneau being a bust, and then the next year Dean Letourneau being the greatest thing that's ever been on the face of this earth. So you got to just relax. That's why I don't
You
like
also
putting
don't.
timelines on players.
It's funny because you mentioned it. You don't know what's going to happen. Don Mellis just went down with a shoulder. He's going to have shoulder surgery next week.
And nobody knew that until today, until a few hours before the game. So you never know.
And he's been sitting for a week and a half.
And guess what? Nobody would have known that if they didn't have Diver in the AHL reporting that stuff. Nobody would have known.
Yep.
So that's the
no
thing.
one would have cared.
Nobody would have
Everyone
went down
would have been like,
asked.
he's benched. If he was continued to be benched for this weekend's games, people would have been like, oh, they're trading him.
Or they would have been like, oh, he's waiting because he's back
busted.
from the Olympics. Yeah, something. Oh, it's a minor injury. And that's the problem. The AHL teams keep everything very buttoned up unless you have somebody down there asking questions, talking to players, talking to coaches, talking to staff. Like that's the benefit of having people down there, because they're not putting out that information willingly. Actually, I will say though, Bridgeport does a great job posting that stuff every Monday. So I guess Bridgeport is a team that does it, but Providence does not. So that's why you need somebody like Diver down there. That's why you need people covering the American Hockey League, and that's why it's definitely undercovered. But
look at what that
do
does. Look at what that does for the Bruins for this season, right? This allows you a great example. Oscar Jelvik, right? He's gotten hurt quite a bit during his NCAA career with Boston College, but he's been very, very promising when he's been on the ice. You may have looked at Oscar Jelvik a month and a half ago and been like, there's no way we can give him an NHL contract. But now with the opening that Losh Mellis' spot has by putting him on the shelf, because that shoulder surgery is going to end his season. There's just not enough time.
He's going to be ready. He's going to be ready in the fall, is what Diver said. So,
but
he's out for the season.
You immediately can go to Oscar Jelvik and go, look, we're not quite ready for a contract, or we're not ready for an NHL contract just yet, but here's an ATO for the rest of the season. You're going to have an opportunity because Losh Mellis is down, and we'll give you an AHL contract for the following season. And now you're able to give them an opportunity because a roster spot, a position in your lineup that was Don Mellis's, is now open. A month and a half ago, if you wrote off Oscar Jelvik, then his next few games you're not even paying attention to.
Yeah, I mean, you could also just sign him to, and this is kind of the conversation that we have all the time, where it's like you can bring him in. If you like him, you don't have to sign him to an NHL deal. Sign him to an AHL deal, and if another team wants to sign him to an NHL deal, are you crying? Are you sleeping at night? Of course you are. Who cares? Move on. That's kind of what it is. It's like you're not going to lose sleep over. You offer him an AHL deal, and then somebody offers him an NHL deal. Well, that's fine.
I think one of the underrated things that Don Sweeney has done too is if you go and look at their prospect pool, it's actually larger than people give it credit for. They're just all in the NCAA right now, or they're not in the Canadian Juniors pipeline. They're not in Providence. So like this year, he's gonna draft heavy on defense. He'll probably draft a goaltender because I don't expect them to offer Svedback a contract. Zazacek will probably be brought back for next season. You already got DiPietro under contract for next season.
Yeah, how long has he been injured, Zazacek? While. Because we've been seeing Luke Kavelin a lot.
I think some of it, too, is Kavelin's not bad. He's a quality AHL goaltender.
Keeps beating the Islanders, so that's all I could say about it. He keeps beating the Islanders, so he's clearly doing something right. But he's also an ECHL, like he's a proven winner at the ECHL level. So it's not shocking that he's like playing well enough at the AHL level. Like he was probably due to be able to step up, and he's been able to prove that this year. He's another guy who like probably won't want to come back because he doesn't want to sit behind two goalies. He wants to, he knows now that he can play at the AHL level. He's probably going to try to go get an AHL deal.
Well, that or they trade DiPietro in the offseason, and next year you come back in Providence and you've got Zazacek and Kavelin as your two.
See, the problem is DiPietro went down on waivers and nobody claimed him. So it's like if nobody's going to take that deal for free, how are they going to take that deal on a trade? I don't know. And then also they're going to have to send him back down. which
Well,
is
you just said
which is
he's already
still,
got through waivers, so
it's still risky. It's still not a guaranteed thing. So if you're going to take him for free, it's tough. If you're not going to take him for free, now you're going to trade for him, and then you're going to have to try to send him down. Plus, you have no idea how it's going to shake out. Goalie gets injured, then he gets. Now DiPietro's wanted. A goalie doesn't perform. Now you go and pick up a Brandon Bussey, or you go pick up a Caden
that's the
Primo.
funny. It's a funny thing because you mentioned the timing of it. There's a reason why Brandon Bussey's in Carolina and not DiPietro, because Brandon Bussey was on waivers when they needed someone to come in, and that's why they took him. Boston had already gotten DiPietro through waivers.
Colton Ellis as well, another one that gets sniped off the waiver wire, who's been pretty good, I believe, in the Buffalo system. So not even in the Buffalo system, he's playing in Buffalo. So
he's in Buffalo right now. Yeah, they sniped him off the waiver wire.
Exactly. So just because, like I said, nobody took him for free. But if you're going to trade for him, it's still a risk to send him through waivers because you have no idea what's happening in everybody else's world when you're trying to send him down, and that'd be brutal.
It's really funny because we see it all the time with like forwards. Someone can. I give them permission, very much so. They will find the spot where we said Gavin McKenna needs to go back for one more season in the NCAA. And they're going to call us crazy. We're insane. Absolutely not. You got to get this kid in now. And that's going to be the take. But you know what? No one is going to say that about any goaltender. Everyone goes, well, they're goalie. You got to be patient. And honestly, to some detriment. Because like people are now bitching that Sebastian Cossa is not up for Grand Rapids. For Detroit from Grand Rapids, rather. But look at the patience. And like, if you look, he's got a spot on the roster for next season right behind John Gibson. And guess what? His spot in Grand Rapids is now opened up for Trey Augustine. Over the next 3 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
3 years from now. 3 years from now, you're going to have Cossa Augustine as your 1-2, and you let them fight out which one is the 1, which one's the 2.
They have it planned out. I don't know why people would be complaining. Also, if a goalie's down and he's winning, and there's going to be a spot open for him, and that's the plan, I don't know why you would want to rush him. You want him to play in the playoffs. There's value in the Bruins talked about it last year. There's value in getting professional playoff experience. That's why a ton of players did get sent down to Providence. That's why Patra was here at the end of last year, so he can get acclimated and get ready to go for the playoffs, which, by the way, he played pretty well compared to everybody else. I mean, that's not really saying much. Providence had a really poor playoff, in my opinion, but they ended up winning a series, went 5 games with the eventual second-place team, I guess, because they lost
Cup finalists.
They lost to Abbotsford.
Which is hilarious because Abbotsford wins the Calder Cup.
And now is in last place, yeah.
Not only are they in last place, but Vancouver has fucking nobody in their system. They have nobody coming up in their system right now. Like, their best prospect is Zeev Bouillon, who they just got because they traded Quinn Hughes.
Yeah, their best player is already there. So, I mean, their best prospect is already
in your NHL system.
Yeah.
And the guy, the second best one that they had from that Abbotsford playoff run was Artur Shilovs. And they traded him. Oh, man. What a tough spot to be in. And it's funny because the Rangers are kind of doing the same thing. The whole point of trading away guys is so that you can rebuild your pipeline. That's what Don Sweeney did.
Yeah, and he did it quickly. And also got lucky. I honestly think Toronto was very, very...
He took advantage of a Toronto that was super desperate. That's all he did.
I also think Toronto got lazy. Like, you really couldn't have made that top 8 protected. You couldn't have made that a top 10 protected pick. Like, you got lazy because you didn't think that this was going to be a reality. And that's the point of the pick protection. Is so if you don't play up to par and you have a tough season, you don't completely leave with nothing. If this pick is a top 10 pick and it's not Toronto's, it's going to be you will never like you're already not hearing the end of it because Fraser Minton is killing it for the Bruins.
Because
But if this is
Boston will never shut up.
we still hear about the Rask trade. This will never ever be lived down if this is a top 10 pick and it's not going to Toronto. That's all I'm saying. If it's I would love to see it being the 6th overall pick. The Bruins
That would
get
be
it.
amazing.
I would. That would be it. I think that would be great. I don't know if the league is going to allow it. I don't know. They're probably going to put Toronto number 1, given their track record, and then the Rangers number 2. But I mean, hey, listen, you can give the Rangers the number 1 and number 2 pick, and they still won't develop their players, as we've already seen. So
that's gonna be the funniest part. Go ahead, give them the 1 and 2, and then in 7 years, let's see what happens when Gavin McKenna gets traded.
Yeah, well, you don't. It's like the New York Jets. You don't want to go to the New York Rangers because they will not develop you well. I mean,
Bet you if he gets drafted by the Rangers, he opts to go back to Penn State.
yeah, exactly. He'll be a 4-year player. That would be really funny if a player was drafted in like the top 10 and then ended up just playing out the rest of college and then signing as a free agent somewhere.
Hey, Tampa finally got one, 5-1 with 32 seconds left in the second period. Montreal's up 4-1 on Washington. Montreal could also make a push for the division. Now that there won't be, after next week when there's no roster limit, they could just bring Fowler up. Like they have the cap space to do it. And I know teams don't like rocking with 3 goaltenders, but like you're really rocking with 2.5 because Montembo's been so bad. Like you work with Dovish and Fowler, and you're like, all right, you guys are our guys. If we have a back-to-back, if we have an opportunity to put him in, we might. But like, sorry. And then honestly, if you do that to him, he may just be okay with getting traded.
Man, Laval is a great team. They're coming to Bridgeport soon, so that should be fun. Bridgeport actually won the last game in Laval because half their players were up, and then half their players were or not half. I mean, they had like 4 players up, and then they had 3 guys who were suspended because of a fight that happened the night prior. So that was definitely something. You definitely got to come down to Bridgeport. At least there's only 9 more home games for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I'll be coming down at some point.
9 home games, and then hopefully playoffs. Playoffs are guaranteed at least 1, so 1 home game at least.
Yeah, I'll be coming down at some point, I'm sure.
Matt Luff, 41 points. Crazy. Did he got an assist tonight? Let's see. Luff got an assist tonight. Love that. 41 points in 44 games. Love it.
It's hilarious. We were talking about the Olympics before, and obviously, like Samuel Hlavaj for Slovakia really stood out. But now we're starting to see some of the guys that you and I have talked about for a while. I'm seeing a ton of highlights now from Michael Hrabel at UMass. Like granted, the one I'm seeing right now was just holy shit. Let me, you know what? Let me see if I can pull it up here because I'm sure UMass probably will be okay with that. Let me try and pull this up here. Because this one was filthy.
This is a huge, huge third period.
Let's see if I can pull this up. Oh, look at this one.
Who is that against?
I don't know. I haven't even. I might be.
It looks like it. Let's see.
Look at as he comes across.
That's UConn. Oh
and he
my
snags it with the
god.
glove.
Oh man. That's
Snags
nasty.
it with the glove.
That is great.
It's so fantastic. It looks like it could be UConn. I'll have to double check
It
and
is
see who
UConn.
they're.
It's
It
definitely
is.
UConn. It's red. I can see the red gloves.
Oh man,
Oh wow.
look at that.
Dude, that is crazy.
This dude needs an NHL contract.
Yeah, why isn't this guy signed? It's like, okay, well, he's drafted. Thanks for
Well,
love it
he's
when
not
people
signed
just
because he's in
tweet.
the NCAA.
I love when people say just tweet the dumbest things ever. It's like it's also like you're a reporter, bro. How do you not you don't have a sheet that like with the players like you don't know who Damien Clare is? How dare you? Also, the draft was like 2 years ago. How did you forget already that Damien Clare was selected in the second round over Trey Augustine and Jacob Fowler? So glad to see. I posted the Clara jersey after that first game, and people were like, "There's no way that you have a Clara jersey." I'm like, bro, I got one. Don't worry. I definitely have some of the most obscure jerseys that have ever existed, like Georgi Merkulov first year jersey where he's wearing number 8. That was literally like the 10 games that he played after leaving college, and then immediately switched to 10 the next year.
Yep.
Damien Clara hockey Allsvenskan jersey, Brenus. Danbury Trashers jersey, got an Islanders practice jersey from the 1 year that they used this logo. Like, yeah, jersey collection is definitely going for sure. Third period here. Need to close this one out. This would be a huge game to close out as you try to gain some separation, I'll say, from Lehigh Valley. It's tough because Lehigh Valley is playing Hartford. Hartford's right behind you, and Lehigh Valley is also right behind you. So there really is no winning.
Yeah, they need these points.
Yeah, and then you hopefully kind of get up there on Hershey too, which would be huge. Also, Lehigh Valley has 2 games in hand. Lehigh Valley 2 games in hand. Let's see how these games are going here.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I'm give me 1 second. I gotta go check on my power cord for my TV.
All right.
Give me 1 second.
4-4.
Yep. All right.
Hartford,
There we
Lehigh
go.
Valley. 1-0 Hershey over Rockford. Need Rockford to play well. All right, that's good. Wilkes-Barre lost. Springfield won 5-1 over. That's not good. Springfield won. Now they're 2 points behind. 5, 6, and 7, all within a point. Not good. Not good. Not what you want to see here. Got to close this game out.
Yeah, when the races are tight, that's just what makes the hockey so much better.
Well, not if you want to have playoff hockey.
No, I'm saying when the standings are close from guys that are trying to get into the playoffs or who are in the playoffs and they're jockeying for position.
I would rather be comfortably in the playoffs right now if I'm Bridgeport.
I would rather be that, but as a fan, I want to watch that hockey.
Well, as somebody who wants to be there for the playoffs, want to have that last game, that I feel like that'd be really great. I'm more like I want this now. You can't lose. Like now I actually have to like care. Before it's like Bridgeport wins, Bridgeport loses. I really don't care as long as players are playing well and developing. That's fine. Now it's like, all right, now you gotta kind of lock in. Now you gotta care a little bit.
All right,
You do. You want
Gallagher with the goal.
Great.
We're just talking about him.
Yeah. Well.
What? You laughing at the tweet I just sent out?
No, I'm laughing because
we're doing a little social experiment here.
I'm laughing because this game is about to unravel.
You think this is about to unravel for?
This is it. Bridgeport is about to lose.
One-timer, filthy. Oh man. Okay, so Vancouver right now, it's being reported that the Vancouver Canucks are not willing to retain on an Elias Pettersson trade. So He ain't going anywhere without cap space available. He ain't getting dealt right now. Oh, look at the save coming up. Oh, watch this save from Hogberg coming up. I know I'm a little ahead of you.
Thank God. He needs this. He needs to step up here. The team needs to step up. You seriously cannot afford to walk away with less than 2 points tonight.
No, no, they can't. And this will make it. This is going to be very interesting because it's also a great coaching job by Ryan Mougenel if they're able to pull this off.
Yeah, well, they pull it off all the time. So this is
Well, the good news about having two Canadian streams is I didn't get a chance to watch the first part of Saturday headlines. So now that another game is in the intermission, they're doing it again.
wow. Wow, Bridgeport needs to shape up here. This is this really cannot happen. This can't happen again, can it?
I don't know. I'm seeing a Raising Cane's ad and trying to listen to Elliot.
Yes, Elliot. I see Frank Cervalli still getting his usual hate.
Of course. I still
Yeah.
hate Fabian Lysell. I still hate DiPietro.
You do. You do. You're a big hater. You hate the kids. You hate the kids. You love the vets. You're pissed off that Jeffrey VL got traded. It's,
Oh yeah, he's playing well for Anaheim too.
Yeah.
We had him in the top 6 the other day.
Listen, you know what? Good for Jeffrey VL. Good for him, man. You know what? Tip your cap. Because the Bruins got more than they probably well, I mean, I guess not more than they should have, but they got a good return on that. And now the Ducks get a good player. Win-win.
Oh man.
I think Jeffrey VL is just glad to be playing in the NHL.
That joke will never die down though. How bad the media can be.
I don't follow any national media. If I want to know something about a team, follow the local people because they actually know what they're talking about. The amount of national reporters that were like, "Wow, this Damien Clara kid, this Italian goalie should be signed to the NHL." It's like, okay, he is signed to the NHL. Thank you. Thanks for not knowing a second round pick. It's like, I don't know.
Maybe if he was drafted as obscurely as Henrik Lundqvist was, although
also that's drafted. This guy's signed to the NHL already.
Yeah, he's
on an NHL. Yeah, he's on an NHL contract. So a huge swing and a miss for the national media. Shockingly,
I'm not gonna rip on him for not too much. Not too much. All I'm gonna say is like if you're trying to be a hockey covering venue, do a little bit of research. Try to know. Even if someone in that booth was like, I think he's been drafted, good enough for me.
I don't know how you don't have that locked in before you're watching a game, right? Like I do research on players before Bridgeport plays them, just so I know. I also send in notes to Jason Shia, so I'm doing my due diligence on players for nothing, basically.
Oh, this is funny.
So the fact that people who are getting paid can't do it is beyond upsetting, and I don't give them any grace when it comes to that stuff. You should know.
This is funny as hell. So sometimes random tweets get put in my feed just because they're Bruins related.
Oh God.
and this person is trying to remember when Elias Lindholm was first signed and people were ripping the contract, and yet some people were like, "Oh, his salary's manageable as the cap goes up," and that was their counter to it. This
I
dude is
do.
trying
Oh my
to
god, that almost went in. All right,
this dude
Hogberg.
is trying to throw that argument back in the face of people, being like, "That means you need to trade Elias Lindholm now."
I think everybody was hoping there would be a decision by Monday. I just don't know where it stands right now. I also don't believe, as we do this, that Vancouver has a firm other offer for Myers. So I think they're
Oh wow!
talking to teams. I don't get the sense there's anything else firm at this point in time. So we'll see by Monday. Patterson.
How did that one not go in?
Around him right now, Ron. But
Sorry, we're both deep
Oh
into
my
this game.
goodness. All right, Hog, bro. Bridgeport's really gonna sell this game. I cannot believe it. Oh my god. They. Okay. I hate to feel like we're on our heels with 13 minutes to go. This is not a good. This is not good. Hogberg really shaping up recently, though. He was not the starter or the backup for a while. Then the last like 3 weeks, he's been in there more often than not, which is great.
Him and his family, but what he did say was that there was some kind of misunderstanding before the gold medal game. He went down to ice level, and an IOC security person didn't recognize Wayne Gretzky and told him he couldn't be there, and so he just left.
That's funny. Did you see the story with Wayne Gretzky and the whole gold medal reading the lineup story?
No, what was that? It like he tried to go down there and they told him they didn't know who he was and they told him to leave.
It was the last headline, so I just was catching that as I got the screen right next to it. So the story was that Hockey Canada refused to let him into the locker room to read the lineup. That's what national media ran with.
Yeah.
And so basically Wayne Gretzky, I guess it sounds like, reached out to Elliot Friedman, was like, "No, I'm clearing this up," and basically told him what happened. And it sounds like he went down, like there was some confusion as to whether or not he was gonna do something or whatever. So before puck drop, he's down there, and someone from security, from IOC security, didn't know who he was. So basically said, "You can't be down here, sir." And he went, "Okay," and just kind of left.
Yeah, I mean that's a little bit different because like those guys aren't necessarily it's not like national media who should know. Also, they're from Italy, so I'm sure like I know for a fact hockey isn't
Oh, the
the
security
biggest thing
guard
over
not
there.
knowing, I'm totally fine with. I'm laughing at
Yeah,
how the media dealt with it.
and I'm also laughing about how Wayne Gretzky dealt with it. Like he could not care less. He was just like, all right.
Oh no,
And he
he
left.
cared enough. He cared enough because Hockey Canada was, I guess, getting ripped for it up in Canada.
Well, it's just funny that they were like, no, you can't, and then he was like, all right. Most people with status would have been like, let me in. Do you not know
Yeah,
who
you
I
know
am?
who I am.
Yeah, he was just like, they were like, you're not going in, and he was like, all right.
Well, it's also one of those things where it's. I mean, you and I have both been there, even at games that we had passes for.
Oh
You
yeah,
know,
that was
where it's
complete. That was unbelievable.
where it's just like, all right, if you want us to move, we'll move. Like it's not that
Yeah.
big a deal, but like, don't act like. And it doesn't sound like the security guard even acted, nefariously. It was just a, hey, sir, you weren't supposed to be down here. Okay, I'll leave then. Like that's how that interaction should go. All right, let's see. We got 12 and a half. You really think Providence pulls this one out?
I really hope not. This would be a resounding win, regardless of if Providence ends up rifling off a total of 40 shots and they still lose. Bridgeport could play like shit for the rest of the game, and if they win, it's going to be a huge win.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Lysel's down after getting hit with a shot. He's staying in, though. Granted, puck's in the offensive zone, so, we'll see how quick he goes to the bench as soon as it
As soon as that puck gets out. Yeah.
No, he's still digging in the boards, though.
Yeah, Bridgeport needs to get that puck out. You can't play around with it down low forever and then not get it out.
All right, they do get it out, but they don't maintain possession. But they're able to change, so that's the important part. Oh, it's gonna be hilarious. I'm working on something to address some of the trade rumors. I can't tell you how many times I see something and I'll bring it to someone in an organization, and I'm just like, man, this is hilarious, and all they do is laugh, and they're just like, where the fuck are they getting this from? Like I had a good laugh with a couple different people about the Sergei Bobrovsky rumors and the linking. And don't get me wrong, the media is doing their jobs, but like people got to relax, because if you see something and it just doesn't make sense, stop.
Yeah, well, the problem is sometimes it doesn't make sense to the fans, but it makes sense, for the organization. So you really have no idea. It's also like that's the biggest thing, and I tell everybody the same thing. It's like, you can't go off of stats. You can't go off of what you think. You like go find somebody who actually knows what they're talking about. Go find somebody who's in the building, and especially for the Islanders stuff.
Or at least talks to people. Has people they can bounce things off of.
I'm just saying, like, I tell everybody this usually every podcast episode that we do for the Isles and the Sound Pod. I'm like, go find somebody that you trust. It doesn't even have to be us, but find somebody who's at least like watching the games, because the amount of misinformation that I see on Twitter about people putting out scouting reports that aren't correct, people putting out, things like, oh, this player's on fire. He has 5 points in the last 6 games, but it's like, okay, he's also a -7, hasn't played a lick of defense. He's leaving the zone early. He's doing this. He's doing that. It's like, go find somebody you trust. Go find somebody who's there. It doesn't have to be us, but find somebody who's like actually watching the games and actually knows what they're talking about and talking to players and talking to people. And like, that's the most important thing, I feel like. So don't just like go based off of what you see on Twitter is the thing, because people can look reputable. People can look like they know what they're talking about, but in reality, they're sitting on their couch at home reporting from the
Do I tell
armchair.
you what just happened?
Well, I just saw it.
Yeah. Ironically, it was Matej Blumel too.
Man, this is truly unbelievable. "13 points against Bridgeport this year for Matej Blumel."
Too bad he couldn't do that against an opponent in the NHL. Ottawa is up 5-2.
Perfect. That's what I like to hear. Takes a little bit of the sting out of Bridgeport just absolutely giving up a 2-goal lead against Providence
Buffalo
again.
is up 5-1. And Tampa's doing their Tampa thing where they get all pissed off, and now Toronto, Ottawa are going through it. Toronto's trying to throw haymakers at people. Looks like Max Domi is probably going to get a nice ejection out of this one. We're getting a lot of physicality over here in these blowout games. So what is that going to do? Let's see. So Buffalo beats Tampa. That puts them 4 points out of first place. Let's see. Then we got Toronto losing to Ottawa. Ottawa jumps
in last
up.
place.
What's that?
Toronto's in last place.
Did Jersey or New York play today?
No, I mean last place in the Atlantic.
Oh yeah. I'm not even looking at the Atlantic anymore. I'm looking at the conference and the wild card race. Because
this is so pathetic. So pathetic.
Montreal was winning. I think I saw somewhere that they were winning. If they're playing, maybe that was last night, but they're. I mean, you're going to get 5-3 in the East. You're going to get. I think Boston's going to be able to hold on to that last wild card spot.
Oh, power play for Bridgeport. This is huge. Victor Soderstrom to the box.
Think about this. Right now, the first round matchups in the East would be Tampa, Boston, Montreal, Carolina, New York, Pittsburgh, and Buffalo, Detroit. Do you see that Dallas has made their decision on Sagan's money?
Yeah, what happened? They
They're
submitted
out.
something.
Yeah, they submitted the paperwork. He's out for the playoffs too. So his LTIR money comes completely available. He can't play in the playoffs now.
Oh my God, Bridgeport has given up how many shots this period? Oh my God. Wheels falling off the wagon once again for this team. I cannot believe it.
Oh man. I feel like my feed is slowing down.
I see it. It's like choppy.
Okay, so that did that to you too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
I'm already refreshing mine right now to see if it was me. There we go. I don't know. You never know how it is with internet connections these days.
I hate Providence so much. I hate the feed. They do such a horrendous job.
Terrible.
Honestly.
Terrible job.
They do. I always hate watching Providence games. And they finally upgraded the cameras too, and the people on the camera are absolutely atrocious. Shout out Brett Schaub's though, very good play-by-play guy for Providence. He makes it almost tolerable.
The play-by-play is really where it's at for them, for their broadcast.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, we're not watching it for the cameras here. Same with Springfield. They always zoom in and zoom out. It's like, bro, just show the play and stop.
Just show it. Just rotate based on what zone they're in. And
yeah, seriously.
Don't overthink it.
Honestly.
You're not the star of the show.
Yeah, I know. You're not the main character guy. Just show where the puck is and that's it.
And if you do some zoom ins and stuff like that for because I know like Bridgeport does the same feed that's on a lot of the time it's the same feed that's on the Jumbotron.
Yeah,
so if it's between periods, I'm not bitching about it.
I don't care. I don't even watch between periods. Actually, funny enough, I did watch between periods last Bridgeport game where a woman flashed the camera, which was certainly something.
That's funny. You get tossed. I'm willing to bet that they showed her getting walked out.
I don't know. I was not at the game. I was sitting at I was home for that one, and it was on the Flow feed as well.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I mean it's very very weird. Weird move to pull out at a Bridgeport hockey game. This is not a concert.
Yeah, an AHL game.
Also, there are kids at the game, which when you're being.
What do you think this is? An Edmonton Oilers game? Come on.
Okay, but she also wasn't being shown on the Jumbotron. Like, this is seriously not the move. Not the move. Very weird.
Oh man.
Very odd thing. Odd thing to pull out at a hockey game. Seriously, not a good emote to.
All right.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Here's a good question for you. Shout out Flying Octopus Pod. I know the guys. I know. Devin over there. It's a Red Wings pod. If you could pick one, which would you rather trade for? Elias Pettersson or Robert Thomas?
Robert Thomas.
Yeah. I'm not even thinking about that one.
Yeah. I also don't know if Pettersson would really fit the Bruins culture, if that's what you're talking about.
In general, I would pick Thomas over Pettersson just because I think Pettersson is more of a liability overall to not work out.
Even if he did, I just don't think he's a culture fit.
Where is he a culture fit other than maybe the New York Rangers? Apparently,
Yeah. Anywhere where the culture is good, I guess he's not a good fit.
anywhere where the culture is work hard. Yeah, there it is. Montreal's up 4-1 on Washington. Holy crap!
Man, you don't trade a player like Emil Heineman. You seriously don't. The most Noah Dobson stat line of all time. Guy had 2 goals and was dash 2 for the game. The Islanders only scored 4 goals. So he's out there for every single one of the goals. Crazy.
Oh. With 5 minutes left.
Even getting 1 point tonight would be an absolute
Failure.
Be devastating. It would be.
At this point, you might have to regroup and win it in OT.
Yeah, if you start playing with that mindset, what's going to happen is you're going to lose it in regulation.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to sit here and be pissed off, but 1 point is 1 point. Like, you need to you need 2 tonight, but you seriously can't walk away with 0.
You can't go pointless.
You cannot walk away with 0.
How well protected is their playoff spot? What's the point lead that they have?
Not very much. The 5th, 6th, and 7th team are all separated by 1 point. If Providence loses tonight, if Bridgeport loses tonight, it depends on what happens in the Lehigh Valley game. They're tied with Hartford. They will still be in a playoff spot regardless of what happens tonight because Springfield is played their game already and is at 49 points. But you seriously want to create some separation because you're playing Providence again tomorrow. You don't want to find yourself out of a playoff spot ending this weekend. And then Bridgeport plays a 3-3 next week where they play Hartford on Friday, which is a must-win game because they play Providence back-to-back at home on Saturday and Sunday. So you absolutely need to get some points against Providence. You cannot go 1-11 like you did last year. You need to get points.
Between this game and the next 2 they have against Providence, you have to find a way to get at least 3 points. You have to get at least 3 is the key.
And you have to win against Hartford. You have to win against
Hartford.
It makes all the games where you're not playing against Providence so much more hold so much more weight. And you're not playing bad teams. You're still playing Wilkes-Barre Scranton. Now you have to win those games because you can't win against Providence. You're playing against Charlotte. You have to win those games. And you also got to keep winning the games against Hartford. Got to keep winning games against Lehigh Valley. Got to win the games against Hershey. These aren't easy teams.
Advantage because you have the tiebreakers, but if you start to lose games, you lose your advantage.
Hey, listen, if you're the last place team, it doesn't matter about what tiebreaker it is. If you're not in a playoff spot, it doesn't matter. So you need to continue to play, and this is one where this weekend you want to walk away with at least 3 points. And when you play,
trying to leave their mark in Montreal now. Sorry.
When you play, well, I'm just saying, if you can't count on tomorrow, especially when you're playing Providence. You have to play for tonight. You need to at least gain 2 points here, even if you don't play the best.
No one ever asks, oh, how did they play in game 35 when you make the playoffs?
No, if Bridgeport doesn't make the playoffs, you're going to look back on this series against Providence and how many blown leads there were, and you're going to be like, this is upsetting.
Yep. If you don't make the playoffs and you miss by a point or 2, that's when people are going to nitpick through your entire schedule and your entire year and go, well, you blew a point here, you blew a point there, you should have been able to take 2 in this game, you blew a lead there. It's going to get dissected the entire offseason if that happens.
Well, the problem is you're not thinking about that, game 20 of the season. You're only thinking about it when it's down to the playoffs, the stretch. That's why you need to come into the playoffs. You need to come into the season ready to go because the games are worth the same game 1 or game 72. But somehow at game 72, you're always like, we need to win this one. So
that's why I find it funny when people are like, oh, this team's going to do this. This team, like Boston, for instance, Bruins fans are like, they could be the funniest. Some fans have been rooting the entire season just for the rebuild to continue, which is fine. If that's what you want to do, I'm not going to tell you how to be a fan, but from the organization's perspective, that's not what they're going to do. 6-1 Buffalo. I just happened to see out of my eye the tick mark go up. Alex Tuck it looks like, gets another goal.
Well, we
This
talk
is-
about Michael DiPietro locking in, not like he had to do much, but he only
No,
made
he really
8 saves the
hasn't.
last 2 periods. So
Yeah, it's easy to lock. I'd say it's easy, but I mean that. Hey, the next shot's the one that could go in and blow it for Providence.
yeah, well, we've seen that with Bridgeport a lot this year. The next shot continues to go in against Providence. So
But he
Providence
also
keeps
hasn't.
continue to find
Those
that.
8 shots weren't even like heavily contested shots. They were not high quality shots,
Nope.
which is
But
why this stat can be hilarious. They've got 18
yeah,
shots, but do they really? No, they have like 10 good ones.
yeah, they probably don't even have 10 good ones. But it also helps the goalie kind of settle down and get back into the groove and feel of it. So
Yeah. I'm curious what Boston decides to do with Soderstrom when the season's over.
well, Soderstrom is one of the only players that I've ever seen who's been able to dictate every place that he's gone to. So
I know, right?
he was with Phoenix or Arizona. He was with Arizona, and then he was like, "I don't want to be here anymore. I'm going to play in Sweden until you trade me." He gets traded, and then he's like, "Well, I'm not coming back over to play for Chicago. You need to trade me again." Gets traded to Boston, and then he's like, "I'm going to come over."
And
So
yeah, and then he's like, I'm going to come over. And then,
had the worst preseason I think I've seen out of any player ever.
yeah.
And that's not even an exaggeration. Like I literally think that was the worst preseason that I've ever seen from
But then he
anybody.
gets called up and he does all right in that game. He got called up, played all right, like nothing earth shattering, but for a team that's right shot defenseman needy like Boston,
The
you
fact
know
that
what
you
I
can't
mean?
carve out a role on that team, it's like, well, you're probably just not good enough.
Well,
At that point.
I think what they pitched to him was come over, play for Providence. If we get an opportunity to put you in Boston on the right side, we will. There really hasn't been a lot of opportunity based on roster movement for Boston because Harris was out for so long. And a lot of their injuries have come on the left side. So they got him in, and now it's basically just get acclimated back to the North American game. I wouldn't be surprised if
Yeah.
that was the pitch.
Well, if I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not in the room, but I would be pretty confident that it would need to be like, I need to be, considered one of the, able to play because I don't think he's coming over to play in the AHL.
What are we doing with the camera here, guy?
Riley
The only
Tufte.
time it shouldn't be faced, wait for it till after that scrum. The only time a camera down at ice level shouldn't be focused on the ice is if there's something major going on, not on the ice. Like this camera, it's the in-home camera. Do you see this? Camera's at crotch level, not facing the ice.
Yeah, I know. What do they pay these people for? Seriously, like he's not even like half the time. Like, what are you looking at? You have the
Like,
camera down. Also, who is the video switcher here? Like, why am I still looking at this camera?
that's what I'm saying. What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah, unbelievable job by the crew in Providence. Seriously, terrible.
And like, okay, if they had to bring some guy out onto the ice to fix and dig up some ice and whatever, something in the
Show it.
crease, then fucking show us that. Don't show us the people standing in the tunnel doing nothing. Because guess what? You just showed me 9 people who don't need to have that job. What are they all doing there by standing by the Zamboni doors? Fucking nothing.
All right, 27 seconds. Let's just get out of this game here. Let's you know what? Let's just get out of this period. Get to overtime, then anything can happen. Let's not do anything stupid. Okay, again, the play's on the ice, and what is going on here?
You're still on that?
Yes.
For me, the time just ran out. How much time is left in the game for you?
10 seconds right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're almost there. Secret, they go to OT.
Well, thanks for ruining it for me. I was so excited to see how that was going to go.
But just what the fuck are they doing with that camera?
Stupid.
You can't go wrong. Like it would it be terrible to have a zoomed out camera that covers the entire rink and doesn't move the entire time? Yeah, but it's better than whatever the hell that was. At least then I can see what's going on the friggin' ice.
Okay, well, Providence. It's only a matter of time for Bridgeport to lose this game, so let's get this on the road here. Bridgeport has not been great in overtime, but they actually did win their last game in overtime, which was Wednesday against Charlotte. So I guess I shouldn't really jump the gun yet. But the last time Bridgeport and Providence went to overtime, Freddie Brunet scored the game winner off of a beautiful feed from Georgi Merkulov just a few weeks ago. So
I just sent you what was going on at the in the Toronto Leafs game.
Julian McKenzie.
Ottawa.
Let's see.
Yeah, Ottawa.
Oh wow, he had a great view of this one.
Yeah, I don't know if
right
it's
on top of it,
him, but yeah,
I think
nice
it is because it's from his.
It looks like he recorded this. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's do. Since it's not the NHL, it's not Buccigrass OT challenge. It's got to be the Jeff Merrick OT challenge because it's not the NHL. All right.
All right. I have Matt Luff OT winner for Bridgeport, and give me Georgi Merkulov OT winner for Providence.
Let's see. For Providence, I'm gonna have to go with Fabian Lysell, just because it's that time of the year for that to happen. And people to start calling and bitching to get his name up here.
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a funny pick. I like that one.
And he really has been quiet most of the game. Like he hasn't done.
No, he has not been good.
And so that's how it's going to end because
of course,
he hasn't been great all game. He gets the OT winner, and Boston fans are going to be like, "Get this kid up here!"
Well, because you're going to have everybody post that Lysell scored the game winner, and then that's what's going to spark it. People who have not watched a second of this game don't even own a Flow Hockey account. Always the same shit.
Man,
who do you got for Bridgeport?
Liam Foudy, maybe.
All right, Foodie and
Foodie.
You have Foodie and Lysell.
I understand why you took Luff. I really do. But
you just fucking coughed it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
and now Brown's going to the box.
Please be Brown. He is not happy. I love that. I love it. We need this one in overtime here. At least I know Luff is going to be out there in overtime. He should be. He was out there last time. It's going to be Luff. If it's the same, it's going to be Luff. It's going to be Beckman. It's going to be Dubé, and it's going to be Bear. Let's see how it goes here.
Yeah, well, hopefully Foodie gets some ice time here.
He's probably going to be on the second unit. Wonder if Bridgeport's going to take a timeout.
Someone is. I don't know if it's Bridgeport or if it's Providence, but I will say this: I could see it be if they end up getting some ice time. I could see it be Ethan Bear. If we're going really off the board, that would be a very, very valuable high return bet.
That's not even like off the board. That's actually just a good pick.
Well, no, I'm saying like if you're looking at like a odds sheet like for DraftKings or something, he's the one that's like plus 1,200.
Unless it's Quinn Hughes on defense, or Cale McCarr, you're basically looking at the defenseman way under whoever is going to be out there
plus 600 or more.
This is going to be Bridgeport so badly needs this one. I feel like a shorthanded goal is coming. I don't know. every time we play Providence, I feel an
The problem
impending doom.
now I won't see Lysell on the ice
Oh
for the
yeah.
next 2 minutes. So there
Well,
goes my option.
we won't see Merkulov either. So, yeah. Unless well, who's even out there on the penalty kill for because Brown's in the box. Who is on the penalty kill for Providence this year? I don't even know.
I don't know. I'm trying to look. Farinacci's at center.
Oh, Farinacci. That's not a bad. That would have actually not been a bad pick.
Looks like
Farinacci.
Colin Felix is out there.
Oh man, Colin Felix. Billy Sweezy's. Yeah, I don't know if you would have picked one of those.
They're gonna go 1 forward 2D on the penalty kill.
Yeah, I mean, well, listen, if you were gonna pick anybody but John Farinacci on this, if you were to pick Sweezy or Felix, like that would have been I would have questioned you for sure. But it looks like I'm correct. It's Bear.
But
Beckman.
I don't think they're playing to score right now. I think they're playing to keep the puck getting clear, kill the penalty, and then get their scoring guys on there. And that's where Fabian Lysell's gonna come off the bench.
Okay, Bear, Beckman. Okay, it's Bear, Beckman, Highmore, Luff. Need to get this puck. Oh my freaking god, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. So they don't have Dubé out there, who was out there last time on the 4-on-3. Because he had an assist on the Beckman goal in overtime. So that's interesting.
You know what's funny is for the last like 7, 8, 10, 15 seconds, we're just killed because Providence is playing this so well right now, and Bridgeport's looking for the perfect shot. Schmaltz is on the ice.
There's my guy, Jake Schmaltz.
They are playing this triangle very, very well for Providence. And they're getting a lot of help from Bridgeport just doing nothing.
There's also not a lot of movement from Bridgeport.
But now it's going to be 4-on-4. If Providence can get this control of this puck, hold on. Oh man. They have it in their own zone. You guys are changing, and there's 4 seconds left, and he dumps it to kill the penalty. He could have held it for 3 of those seconds and dished it off to Brown coming out of the box. Oh man.
Yeah, but those guys were out there for almost a minute and a half. So
I know, but you'd have been able to change while Brown's on the breakaway coming out of the box. It's not like you were sending Billy Sweezy on a breakaway, all right?
Wow, Foodie is getting absolutely manhandled. Oh my gosh. Running into each other here. Oh my goodness.
They're carrying it up. Well, your pick, Merkulov is out there.
Great.
Brunet and Soderstrom together.
Definitely an offensive D pairing, I'll tell you that.
They do the shootout, right?
Yeah,
they do the shootout. I don't know why I was questioning it. I just couldn't remember in that moment. 24 seconds away.
Yeah, I have 44 seconds, so.
It looks like both teams are playing for a shootout, too.
Yeah, if I'm Providence, I would definitely play for a shootout. Fuck, bro. Why is this so delayed? 25 seconds.
He just said it on the broadcast that the Islanders are playing for a shootout.
I don't know why. Islanders should not be playing for a shootout.
It'll be interesting to see who gets picked.
In the shootout. Here we go.
I'm looking forward to the deadline coming up next week, though.
Yeah.
Is it fun? How is it bad? I'm more looking forward to the fact that stupid bullshit rumors are going to finally be able to stop.
I'm just looking forward to playoff hockey.
Well, playoff hockey's right around the corner after that, yeah, but clickbait, it gets more minimized after the trade deadline. It ramps up this week. Oh man, boy, is it going to get bad this week.
Who is it out there?
You guys are shooting first.
Yep. Foodie.
Now, if he scores, does that count for me? If he's the only one?
He needs to score the winner. So if he scores and nobody else does, then you definitely get that one. But he doesn't score, so it doesn't matter.
I was going to say, does it count towards at least getting half a point?
Well, he didn't score, but Merkulov, okay.
There's your boy.
Now we'll see if I get a half a point here. He's pretty good. Saved.
As good as Merkulov is, I don't think the shootout is a strength of his.
He overskated the puck in Bridgeport like Brad Marchand style last shootout. Oh, is it Luff?
All right, let's see. What do you think he does here? Do you think he gets a goal?
Needs one. Oh my gosh.
Well, he lost
How
control.
do you miss that?
He lost control.
Oh man, Luff.
But you know what? DiPietro gets all the credit in the world for that save. Forget the fact that Luff lost control of the puck.
Luff, you need that one. All right, who is this?
Farinacci. I bet you he gets this one.
Good friends with Marshall Warren. Good save.
Ooh, Hogberg comes big.
All right, Adam Beckman. Oh, come on. You seriously cannot keep losing shootouts. Like, Bridgeport is not.
Are you caught up now?
I think so. Beckman's skating in right now.
Yeah, I think you're caught up to me. He's taking it wide right.
Oh, fuck. Providence is going to freaking win this on this shot. Oh, Riley Tufte.
Buffalo.
All right, we seriously need this one.
I don't think Tufte
need a save.
Off.
Need a save here from Hogberg. Fuck me, bro. Fuck this team. I'm so done with this. That's so trash. Oh my god. Great shot by Tufte.
You know what's Hogberg really funny is as I was thinking about it too, I almost said Tufte for the game winner. Like I had it between Tufte and Lysell just because Tufte was having such a good game.
God, bro, how do you keep losing these games, man? That's so tough. Hogberg did everything he could. You can't. Bridgeport keeps going over 3 in a shootout. It's beyond frustrating. You have 3 really good players. At the end of every practice, do you not practice shootouts?
No, they probably
Hogberg did everything possible there. Gosh, bro, that's so annoying.
Dude, the patience on that shot. Holy fuck.
Cannot lose that game. Seriously, cannot lose that game. It's disgusting, embarrassing.
Did you see how patient he was on that shot?
Unbelievable.
Oh, man.
Oh my God. Bridgeport finds a way to lose once again.
I mean, it sounds like that's par for the course for them right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna go look at the stats, but yeah, that was something.
Yeah, they're showing it again. He goes wide, cuts. Oh man, Hogberg was pantsed on that. All right, the stars of the game. Blumel. Gallagher, too. Tufte is the first. Yeah, I guess I'd describe it that way. Calling DiPietro's performance solid. I don't know if I'd describe it any other way. I mean, he was fine. He gave up 2 weak ones, but like they didn't come back to bite him in the ass, and that's what matters. Oh, excuse me. Any other AHL games that you're keeping your eye on for tonight so far?
No, I'm going to the gym after this. I'm done. This is it. This was it. I've had enough.
Oh wow, that bad,
Unbelievable.
huh?
Unbelievable.
You got any NHL games you're gonna try to throw on while you're there?
Absolutely not. I'm done.
Well, yeah, I'm looking it over. We got the Sabres up 6-2. Caps are down 4-2. The closest game right now is Stars Predators, which has the Predators up 2-1. And then the game later tonight could not be one that I don't want to stay up for even more. Seattle, Vancouver. Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. That is not a game that'll get you going. I can't believe they did the freaking Oilers Sharks early this afternoon.
Unbelievable.
Ovechkin's added to his goal total tonight. What a quiet year it's been for Washington. You notice that?
No, haven't been following.
I know you're following a lot more of the AHL. Well, every AHL game for Bridgeport you've been involved with in some capacity, so
Yeah, unbelievable.
it takes a lot of work out. So, you got any final thoughts before we sign off on this one?
It's a tough loss. Bridgeport back again tomorrow against Providence. They're gonna play 2 against Providence next week, and I just like I seriously cannot. I mean, I literally told you that they were gonna lose this game up 2-0. That can't ever happen, and yet it's happened like 5 times this season. So unbelievable.
I mean, now you know why they're moving.
Look, they're not moving just because they can't beat Providence. That is another move that I will not get into because I will talk forever about why that's just a dumb move. But what can you do? Hey, listen, there's a reason I'm not running the show. So
Yeah, right. Well, at least Islander fans have something to be excited about, even though Bridgeport might not be up to par with where they want it to be. They've got some players who are looking solid down there, so they've got some excitement to be had. And if they're able to, imagine this, you got the talent that they're able to influx soon, and they currently sit tied with Pittsburgh for third in the Metro. Like, how could you not be excited if you're a New York Islanders fan? Everyone should be following Bridgeport at that point and seeing what's coming down the road.
Bridgeport has some stuff coming down the road. Unfortunately, wasn't there today. So,
well, let me ask you this: do you think their focus is more on player development or winning in the American Hockey League level?
I think both go hand in hand, but I obviously think it's more development, which is happening. But it's frustrating because you do get there is, a benefit to playing in the playoffs, and you got to continue to win. And winning, and having a winning culture is huge. And figuring out how to close games is the biggest thing, because you look at other teams who struggle to close out games, and their coaches get fired, and players, it's not a good situation when you can't win games. You look at Columbus and their coaching staff and how that's all turned around because they could not play in the third period. And it's not even that Bridgeport can't play in the third period. They can't do it against Providence, and I don't know what's happening, but it's literally at the point now where I'm like, up 2-0, we're gonna lose this game. Bridgeport's gonna lose this game. It's unbelievable.
But only against Providence.
Only against Providence do I feel that way.
Oh, man. Well, we'll continue to see. You and I got to get together on our schedule and see. I know there's a lot more coming as far as what we want to get done. So we'll continue to go over some stuff here. So you got any final thoughts though before we let everyone go?
Nope, that was it. Beyond upsetting. It's tough for the Islanders fans, tough for the team, but they are back tomorrow. So that's
any final thoughts that we didn't touch on the Olympics.
Great job by Damien Clare.
Hey, someone you're gonna keep watching. So why don't you let people know where he's playing right now?
Brenus in the SHL.
SHL, which you can see on Flow.
On Flow.
It's great. It's great to have that available. So anyway,
absolutely.
Have a good night, everyone, and keep an eye out. We will be back.